Welcome back. This is the Q&A and the recap for our Grey Knights against Sisters battle. If you haven't seen that, you're going to watch that first because there is going to be a lot of spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
For that game, so you have been warned. And I think we have to say, we've been saying this a bit recently, but that was quite a blowout.
Oof, yeah.
You almost had a perfect game.
I did.
You had 97 points, which really you just missed one secondary, one turn. And I don't, what was my final score in the end there?
27.
It was 27. So it was probably the largest points delta in the channel's history.
Now,
actually.
we should mention this mission is like impossible.
It's to get points on.
Really punishing.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
That's true.
Very punishing.
So it was a really uphill battle for the Grey Knights, which we knew.
Yeah.
But it was more a battle, like sometimes do battles like this just to challenge yourself.
Absolutely.
To be like, hey, you know, let's see, put them up against the best. Let's see how they can hang. And in this game, I made a few big plays. Like I tried to get the Dread Knight back here, kill one of your key characters.
Yep.
And I tried to be very conservative and not bring too much out and just grab points where I could. And it was looking okay, but the problem is once you can take the board and make the charge, it's kind of lights out.
Yeah, it was working great. And if I had sort of like held the line, you would have actually been in a good position. If you just waited. Yeah, because you were just far enough out as we saw, but I was able to kind of, this is something that Sisters like to do a lot, is like get just semi-mid-board a little bit closer, hold that as like a staging point, and then you can launch.
They could get a guaranteed
And there's like there's nothing you can hide.
There's nothing exactly. So. And I was still losing assets, and I barely had enough to do what I needed to do turn 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And so even losing 1 or 2 assets meant I can't screen anymore, and I can't really do much. So it was definitely coming. And in fact, the last battle with the Sisters, they were in an uphill battle against, the Drukhari was in an uphill battle. Yeah. The only reason the Drukhari won that game is because you actually held back. Yeah. You were almost like, you were too timid with them.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's like, oh, the game ended all of a sudden. It's like, aha, the board was mine all game. But in this game, you were like, okay, I'm going to come in.
Exactly.
And once you're in, it's lights out.
It's such an interesting and difficult balance to find, is like when are you aggressive, when you're not. Everyone has their own play style, but there's also like finding within that play style when to do that. I'm a very conservative player, but also like learning when, no, you actually do cowabunga it on turn 1 with something, right? Yeah. And so that's an interesting and an important skill to learn. Yeah. And the other thing that this, like you said, this army doesn't have that the Drukhari did have is just more assets, right? That's right. The strike team squads, well, Grey Knights in general, right? They're pretty expensive,
pretty elite.
And you're not getting the durability for the kind of points that you're paying, right? And the things like the Dread Knights are awesome, but they suck up from like the things that actually score. Yeah, right.
I think we're all excited to see a Codex come for them.
Yes.
They need that more durability. They need more punch. We're gonna keep playing them because I just love them so much.
Yeah.
But they definitely can't hang with most of the things out there, especially Repentia. We had what 27 Repentia here on the board, and the Repentia is still, you know, hard pressed to say they're not the best unit in the game.
I was thinking about it more. I know we said Mortarion might take the cream of the crop for that, but like I think overall, as far as impact of the game and effectiveness per point, it's Repentia for sure.
I agree, absolutely, especially when combined with guaranteed charges. Yeah. You could have a guaranteed 13-inch charge. Yeah. Now you can only declare a 12-inch, but nevertheless, you know, you can get out of a Rhino, guaranteed advance 6. Which turns into a 16-inch move for you, and then charge 12. Yeah. So it's a 28-inch charge effectively across the board with a unit that can kill anything.
So good. So good.
It's really hard to come back from that.
They are amazing, and they're deceptively durable. We saw it just a little bit in this game, not enough for it to matter, like soaking up the smites and things like that, because they have the layers of durability. They have the invuln, which can get to a 4+ invuln, and they have the Feel and Pain. So really top tier model. In fact, I would say that's my MVP for this game. Yeah,
the MVP, I think that's almost always the MVP when they're on the board. Yeah. For me, do I have an MVP? The Land Raider.
Yeah.
The Land Raider got to do the thing where he popped out. I used Edict Imperator, where he pops out, shoots, and hides. He actually, I only killed, what, 1 thing, 2 things in the game? And everything I killed was him.
Yeah.
Right? So, and he was actually going hot with his hits, wounds, and damage.
Totally.
That's the only reason he actually managed to get a kill. And so, definitely have to give it to him. He actually played the game.
It's great.
So, yeah, I'm fine.
It's like a genuinely great tactic, and you didn't have to use the transport wasn't as interesting in this matchup. Right. But you can use him like that. You can hold on to Terminators for a counterpunch.
In this case, your army can pop a Land Raider at range or in combat.
Yeah.
You can pop him anytime, anywhere, any place. You know, without breaking a sweat.
Yeah.
So I can't use him as like a model on the board.
Yeah.
Because he's too expensive for something that you just like he's paper, you kill him, you know?
Exactly.
And there's not many armies that do that so easily at range, you know?
It's true.
Really cool. Well, next time I make a Grey Knights army, I might bring a few more of the characters I haven't brought before, like Drago and stuff like that.
Drago!
Just to dig in there and see what we could go into. Maybe we'll give them a softball, some psychic army where they could just like deny it and like you're chaos, I gotcha.
One where they can't take over the witch too would be nice.
That's true. That's true.
But we will actually genuinely run them soon. One of the reasons we decided to run them today, kind of last minute, was because you guys, or the members, voted for them. They were almost the winners of the Tuesday vote. So we said, people want to see them, let's put them on the table. Don't worry, this doesn't like use up your slot. We'll get them on the table again real soon. But just like I said, I mentioned this on Tuesday, but for our members, when you guys do vote, we look at even the things that don't
Even the thing that loses. Yeah, that's right.
As a side note, become a member today. You can vote on future games. Right?
We got to vote right up right now for Tuesday's game. So why don't we jump to the Q&A?
Yeah, we got plenty of questions.
Cool.
Thanks, Dungeon Master. Well, isn't this an interesting little civil war? I reckon the Grey Knights probably pointed out the odd similarities between Celestine and Demon Prince, which the sisters then viewed as heresy.
I think that's true. The Grey Knights are famous for covering their tracks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And in this case, they bit off more than they could chew. They were like on a planet, like investigating something, and then the girls are like, "Who are those Space Marines?" And they're like, "Kill them!" And then the Repentia came out, and it was like, "Oh no!"
And there's just no stopping out of that.
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
Celestine's like, "All right, come on, flame it!" Like sword ignites.
Yeah, once the Repentia are like 28 inches up the board, and she's just like, I guess we're going in.
That's right. It's funny, in the Celestine book, actually, there's like a hardline preacher that's like total, just like, the worst kind of preacher. He like, berates everyone verbally, but he like believes in the Emperor. But he thinks the Celestine's actually a demon. He's like, that's not like the saint. This is not an agent of the, like, we just trust this person that just appeared. She's definitely kind of demonic. And it's actually really cool, so, yeah.
She kind of is.
She's kind of demonic.
She's kind of a little
They should give her the demon keyword. That'd be amazing.
Just to leave you guessing.
Yeah, like, is she?
They should have, like, the chaos keyword, but it's, like, 3/4 erased.
Right.
Oh, no.
Well, it's like, the lizardmen in Age of Sigmar, half of them do have the demon keyword.
The celestial demon.
They're celestial, yeah, which is cool. It's like angels and demons traditionally.
That would be a good
in D&D, they're both like celestials, right?
Yeah,
or something.
right.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right, thanks to Rainey. Love the channel, especially as a new Grey Knight player that started just as 9th landed.
Ooh.
Do you think Paladins will get a different buff in the Pain of Transhuman? 4 wounds seems cheap. I don't want to see them with 4 wounds. I think that would be dumb.
For the Paladins?
4 is a bad breaking point for wounds.
Well,
I think 3 is fine.
Yeah.
3 is fine. I'll give you an interesting example. Like Sanguinary Guard were 2 wounds to begin with. They didn't go up to 3.
Yeah.
Correct.
They stayed at 2.
Yeah.
Right? So I think 3 is probably fine. Do I think they should get a bit more durability in some way? Sure.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Something.
I'm sure they'll get -1 damage or permanent transhuman.
-1 to wound, or I also am interested in the idea of semi-transhuman, right? Can't be wounded on better than a 3.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which is good against those big things.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of things, but we all agree on 3 wounds.
Yeah, I think they shouldn't just be vanilla Terminators, though. They should be something special.
Right, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Melody. Taco Bell Baja Blast and Vallejo Blue Green, same color. Just saying. Adrian, we share something here. You know?
So what you're saying is, when you drink your paint water, you probably couldn't even tell if it was Baja Blast or not, because that's
true.
probably
it tastes the same.
It tastes the same, and it's the same color.
He's like,
and you're just like, all right.
You're like, is this the Code Zero version?
Yeah. Yeah, you just have 2 cups and it doesn't matter. You can rinse in each and drink either one. It's fine.
That's kind of nice, actually.
Yeah. Really takes the stress away.
That's right.
All right, thanks, Skaven Clownloach. I want to start demons and really like Nurgle and Tzeentch. Do you think demons work well without Slaanesh?
No. No, the Slaanesh are by far the strongest.
Yeah, you're definitely taking a hit. I think
they can work, but I don't know about work well. Work well is probably strong.
I could build a pretty nasty one. I think if you build almost entirely Nurgle. Except for the Lord of Change.
Yes.
Or 2. And that's it, right? So you play with Plague Drones, Mega Durability, Nurglings.
What has any punch in the army? Nothing, right? It's just holding. So you better hope your opponent's not mega lethal.
Yeah.
Right? That's the problem. So that's just your output.
I'm trying to think if 2 Lords of Change is interesting. I think so. Only one is the rogue.
They don't have that much output either.
They don't.
It's a type of output. It's mortal wounds.
And it's still not that much, though. You know what I'm saying?
As pure Nurgle, that's like your only output.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Tzeentch for a bit of output, and Nurgle for the majority of the army, and it would be playable.
Yeah. I don't think it would be bad. I think Slaanesh is what makes the army
actually
top
scary.
tier.
Yeah.
But
agreed.
Alrighty, thanks again, Skaven Clownloach. On my list to buy is 2 SC Nurgle. Super choppy Nurgle.
SC.
Okay.
Nurgle.
I don't know. Sloppity, Greater Unclean One, Lord of Change. And I already have 9 Screamers. Any other must-haves? I like the idea of converting a prince and think horrors are cool, but are they worth it?
Maybe sometimes. I think I've seen people tech into like one blob in interesting ways, but they're definitely not like the main part of your army, right?
Horrors? Don't you love horrors?
I like them.
You take like a small squad just for secondaries, right?
Yeah, that too. Horrors.
Oh, Furies. I was thinking of Furies.
Furies are great.
Yeah,
definitely recommend Furies.
Yeah.
I don't know if they sell them separately yet out of the Warcry box, but no, the horrors, like one squad to kind of do interesting stuff.
Yeah.
What's that?
Start collecting. That's the
Start collecting. Cool, cool. One thing actually I was just going to mention, I know you want to do mostly demons, but if you wanted to keep it within Nurgle and Slaanesh, some of the top tier armies have like a Mortarion or a Magnus, and that gives you the punch that you're missing, right? That's kind of some of the best lists, honestly. It's mostly demons with that, right? So, cool. as a thought.
It's kind of cool.
But like we said, Plague Drones, amazing.
Plague Drones are
amazing.
Yeah, and they're cool models too.
They're great. I love them. I'm so happy that they're great right now. So that would be in my competitive demons list is 2x5 Plague Drones.
Yeah,
like, to start.
Just they're so solid.
Yeah.
Did we say anything about horrors? Pink horrors? Did we say?
Yeah. I think they're fine, but I would largely only take like one squad, and you would.
They're your backfield holders.
They're backfield holders. They're like you save a little bit of summoning points for splitting, so you get extra movement, but you don't like tech into it much. That's how I would play them.
But arguably, if it was just Nurglings, it'd be better.
Mostly,
like if you spent those points on Nurglings, you'd be better.
So here's the reason I hesitate, because I'll give TJ credit for that, where he was running one 30-man pink horror squad, and then the rest was all Nurglings, and it worked well as like a specific kind of role.
I understand.
Right, and that's the only reason. That's why I mention it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I haven't tried it myself, but.
Yep.
Alrighty, thanks Tyrelli. Hey Titans, still got the first Metal Grey Knights. Want to get back Warhammer 40k after 15 years. Got Captain Stern, 9 Terminators, 2 10-man SQDs. That? Super qualified.
He messes me up every time.
Deadly soldiers.
Okay.
Yeah. Carry on.
Of Grey Knights with
squad. It's literally squad.
Oh yeah. I like super qualified deadly soldiers.
That's what squad stands for. So.
That's true.
With Stormbolter and Halberd, ideas to use them in a modern Grey Knight army.
Okay.
A modern Grey Knight army. I think a modern Grey Knight army looks for ways to be surprisingly mobile. With the move, shoot, move, and also with the Gate of Infinity, and then also with I'm not using them today, but interceptors or whatever the jump pack guys.
Inceptors.
Yeah, I think all of those are some of the more interesting ways to play because you can be all over the board with Stormbolters.
Yeah.
You can throw some buffs up, like I can take a unit and say reroll hits within half. I can take a 10-man squad, dump it right in front of you, and I can Cybolt ammunition and just like waste something. Yeah, I could dump them behind a wall, astral aim. And so you got to play those kinds of tricks. Some of these things, like the Dread Knights, are traps.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
They're so cool when you want to play them, but they're pretty pricey. They're not giving you any of that trickery, and also they don't shoot, as we were seeing. Their shooting's just not there. Even though their shooting went way up because they're not taking minuses to hit, but they don't shoot, and they just don't have enough tax to normally get it done. The Terminators are pretty cool. They're a little pricey, but they're not bad. The strike teams I like because I like just MSU because you need lots of assets. But I think the last army I played against the Drukhari, where I had lots of mobility, I like that too. That's pretty interesting.
I think that's really great. What do you think about like a unit of Purifiers?
Nah.
No? You don't like them?
I think if you want to get the job done, like if you have a unit close up you need to shoot, you have so many Stormbolters, you're going to get the job done with them without the Purifiers, and you have strats and abilities to make your gun stronger if you need them to be. So I don't really think like the Purifiers, like to me they're this one and done thing. Yeah. And I don't know, they're too pricey for that.
No, that sounds good. I was just thinking because I know Siegler, happy birthday by the way.
It's his birthday?
It's his birthday today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. He likes them for they have the ability. They have 4+ invuln strat, which gives them some durability. But I've always kind of wondered about them. That's why I was asking because I don't actually know what the answer is. But yeah, okay.
It's cool. Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
they're fine. Like there's nothing super amazing about them. In my opinion. You have to put a lot into them to get something a little bit out.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just to defend my honor, SQDS was all caps. Chad thinks I'm an idiot, but it was all caps as if it were an acronym. Thanks, David. Grey Knights need to paint that sister's blood on again. What? Grey Knights need to paint that sister's blood on again for protection from the powers of chaos, it seems, or conversely, they should just bring storm shields. Unfortunately, Drago rented it out 1,000 years ago and hasn't returned it.
That's right.
Love you guys.
His late fees must be terrible.
Yeah, that's
Although
rough.
time in the warp is really strange, so maybe
he's like, technically it's only been like 3 hours.
Yeah, maybe he could return it before he gets it.
Go back in time and return.
It'll be fine.
He's like, oh, I also bought my library books.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a sword sticking through them, but I'm sure that's fine.
That's right. And there's a demon head on top of this. The blood's coming out.
That's gonna soak all the pages.
Yeah,
why do they do that? So
I know.
Weird.
They're not hygienic at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, they do need storm shields.
Yeah, they need something, right?
Let's give them several more wounds.
And several.
and storm shields.
Let's give them D6 more wounds each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5.
Oh, all right.
We'll give them 5. 5 more wounds.
Yeah, I like it.
That's a lot of wounds.
I have faith that when the book comes out, faith appropriate, I know. When it comes out, it'll be good. But until then, they're playing old-fashioned Warhammer.
Yeah, with new fashion points.
Yeah.
So they're paying like full Marine points basically for half a Marine.
So what we need is another Marine Codex.
That's right. Come on, James. Get on it. Maybe after Eldar.
Yeah.
We can wait. But well, we can't.
Thanks, Flesh Creature. Oh, hi, Titans. I am so excited to finally see the Silent King on the channel. And even more excited for the inevitable Silent King versus Mortarion matchup.
Yes.
We'll do that for sure. The Silent King is gorgeous.
So cool.
The model's done now. And I'm going as far as to say he actually looks, I'd say like 15% better than the box art.
It's true.
So it's like
Nice.
really, really beautiful model. And really excited to get him up here on the channel.
Awesome.
He's going to be so epic. So we're going to be playing him next week. Is it next Thursday or Saturday? Do we know yet? We haven't decided.
I forget.
But it's one of those 2 days.
It's one of those 2 days. It will not be Mortarion because we want the show to be about him, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So eventually they'll fight, but this is going to be the Silent King show.
And we'll have the Void Dragon as well.
When are you fighting? I think you're fighting Space Marines.
Yeah.
On Thursday, maybe. Anyways.
Well, you should just tune in on Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah, might as well. That's the only way to know.
Which did you choose? I left it up to you which Space Marines are going to fight. Have you chosen?
No, I haven't chosen.
So he's going to choose
I'm
the
spoiled
flavor.
I've never had options.
He's going to choose the flavor of Space Marines he wants.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of flavors here. It's like a Baskin Robbins up in here.
That's right.
Thanks, Trey. Painting 120 boys today. Wish me luck.
Oh, today?
Today?
I think what you mean is you're starting to paint 120 boys today.
You're going to get them out
He's like,
on the table.
paint, garbage.
Yeah.
I'm out here like, I can't handle this.
Right. Oof. Good luck.
Good luck.
All right, thanks, Faust. More AOS. When? We keep getting this question, guys.
I know. Well, to be fair.
Did you see the new elves today?
They're so cool!
I'm definitely buying all of them.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe I like it, but I'm not the biggest fan of like the flying fox guy.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because
is it too anime for you,
I can only have
very
so many
anime.
models. Did you see the guy in the like Goku cloud?
Yeah.
What?
So is it too anime for you, Brian?
It's very
It's not too anime. I'm fine with anime, but
did you see the guy that's like the Blade Guard guy with the guy on his
on
hat?
top?
Like, bling!
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's like cool model.
It's pretty silly.
Like okay model on top.
Yeah.
So like overall okay model.
Could have been 2 better models.
So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut
Yeah.
them and like put them back to back fighting or something.
That's cool. I like that.
That's a lot better.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that cool Slanesh demon prince with like the weird demonette on top.
Yeah.
And it's like
I like that.
I like the demon prince on his own. I hate the demonette on top. So
No, it's like a stripper pole, and she's like sliding on and cutting people's heads off. Like
it's
woo!
super wacky.
Very Slanesh.
I do not like it.
I love that release. Actually, everything. If you guys haven't seen the preview that came out today, it's
Yeah.
almost all Sigmar. But
so
good.
when is Sigmar next?
Soon.
Soon? Okay, soon.
Like
Like what does soon mean? I
Like,
actually don't know. So you got to tell me.
This is a Blizzard soon
It's
TM.
it's up to you.
Yeah, this is Blizzard soon TM. Don't leak the BlizzCon beforehand.
It's up to you.
It'll
You
be
decide.
in a couple weeks.
Within a couple weeks.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
Ooh,
You heard it
all
here.
right, all right.
Force my hand, guys. I don't know.
Well, I did no such thing.
I was definitely forcing. I want to play some AOS.
I know. No, that's good. It needs to happen.
All right, thanks, Michael. Started watching in the first lockdown. Haven't played since third. You guys got me back into it now. Own
Nice.
3400 Ultra, 3500 Necron, 2000 Death Guard. Love it. Waiting to play.
Yeah.
I see you have the same affliction we have.
It's true. Once it sets in, it's a snargles rot in your bones.
That's
you know?
right. There's no getting away.
That's awesome. Well, yeah. Hopefully you can play real soon. It's a great game.
It's so good.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, James. Hey, guys, any advice for a new player and how to build up to some tournaments? Also, what's your thoughts on Mephiston? Does he work? Does work for me, but gets some hate.
It's an efficiency thing, right? And you'll find this once you do start playing with tournaments is there's things that they might not be bad, but there's better options, and that is why also a reason we like to play not just in tournaments, but also like for fun, narrative. Obviously, the show helps us with that, because there's things that kind of just get cut out of the list because they're not as good as other things, and he's one of those things, right? He's a bit expensive. He doesn't have the invuln built in.
You can't choose your relics and warlord
traits. You can't choose the relics. These are the main things working against him. Again, not to say that he's bad.
D3 damage in combat. I hate that.
Oh, I forgot that.
I hate that. Yeah. He's cool though, because like he's one of the few librarians you can take that legitimately has some punch, right? He does have 6 attacks on the charge, strength 10, -3 D3.
Cool.
And if you tech into some psychic powers, you can up his combat ability. But the army has no shortage of combat ability.
Yeah.
So it's like, is that really what you needed the librarian for? And at the end of the day, if you're taking, you know, I don't know, if you're like taking him for psychic, you could be doing a lot more with just normal librarian, as you're saying. So he's cool if you like him. I love the model.
He moves 7 inches?
Yeah, he moves 7.
That's so random.
He's part elf now.
He's a big boy.
He's a demon prince.
He has knife ears.
He is a big boy.
Yeah.
He's somewhat durable. He's not honestly that durable.
Yeah.
But the feel no pain and the 2-up armor save is pretty good. But
he's strength 10 in combat.
That's what I'm saying. It's strength 10. It's okay. It's nothing too amazing.
It's cute.
Yeah. Advice for building up to tournaments.
Well, it sounds like you play Blood Angels, so you're gonna have an easy time here.
ABC.
It's one of the armies. Yeah. It's ABC. Read our book. ABC. Always be charging.
That's right.
No, it's you want to build an army that just plays the whole game, right? So in your Blood Angels army, you want a few big hammers. You could build these hammers mostly out of Sanguinary Guard, but you could also build them out of Death Company.
Yep.
Lesser but still good would be Blade Guard.
Oh yeah.
Those would probably be your hammer choices.
Agreed.
And Sanguinary Guard are just the best choice there.
Yep.
And then you want to have some units for backfield scoring. Those work well as I use Assault Intercessors.
Absolutely.
Things like that. Blade Guard also, you know, they can chunk out. Got a bit of character support. Don't go overboard with it because they used to be very good, but their characters are actually not super great anymore. And if you've seen on the channel, we always take things like upgraded Sanguinary Priests, with Chief Apothecary.
Yep.
Those kinds of things are really hard to get away from. And you're going to need to max out your Warlord traits with that army because there's so many cool things you can do. Go back and check out some of our lists. Especially we played Blood Angels in the recent LVO Nopen thing here. And I had a list there was very heavy Sandguard, very, very strong list. Not the only list you could build though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's great advice.
All right, thanks, David. What wings are those on Celestine? Would really would look really good on a Sanguinor or Sanguinary Guard.
Yeah, they would. These are from one of the best kits in the game, the Scourge.
That's right.
So this is the Drukhari jump pack dudes, right? And so they have some of them are feathery wings,
and some of them are like baddie wings. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's a nice kit.
Yeah, thank you. Because I love the art. All of my favorite art about Celestine has like the glowing feathery wings.
Yeah.
I don't mind the new wings, but I really wanted to kind of copy that artwork. So there you go.
Yep.
Alrighty, thanks, Curtis. Tell Adrian to stop playing with naked models. Mel and Gilliman are both going to get jealous. Love your streams. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Every time I say it, I'm like, I need to think of a different way to say it. But they're naked. They have no upgrades.
Yeah.
They're
like, what's one word you can say?
Base.
They're vanilla.
Vanilla. That's a good.
I could say vanilla. Pretty good.
That's a good one.
I like vanilla though.
Well,
I also like naked too. But
you also like these models, right?
That's true. All right, I'll do that. It's distracting, I know.
They're vanilla because that's the way you like them.
Yeah, that's right.
Alright, it's getting weird. Thanks, Caveman. Hey, Titans. Just got all my models for my Sons of Malice army ready to paint. Any tips for painting or priming a black and white colored CSM army?
You're in for a challenge, my friend. But it'll look really sharp.
The trick is the white parts.
Yeah.
See if you can not glue them together before you paint them.
Yeah.
That's
do the sub-assemblies if you can.
Yeah, sub-assembly. So then you could paint, you could prime the white stuff white, and you can prime the black stuff black. That goes a long, long, long way.
Yeah. If you can, I don't know the exact scheme of the Sons of Malice, but like the shoulder pads are probably going to be a different color. You can pop those off. Maybe the backpacks, the helmets are a good one.
Helmets are a great one.
And then
sometimes even choose your scheme based on the things that do break off.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Would you like? Traditionally, it's do the biggest coverage first, then do the details. Which would you rather do? Black base with white details?
If it's mostly a black model, I would start with black, even though I have to build up, only because I want black in all the shadows and things like that. And I would hate to have to put a black on top of the white. Yeah. I don't think it's good.
I agree.
And I would desperately try to sub-assembly, or I would do what you would do, which is like mask and airbrush. And just, it's no problem doing multiple layers of white with an airbrush.
Yeah.
As long as it's masked.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, thanks. Wamputron, which is a cool name.
Nice.
Hey Titans, love the show. I'm a big G1 Transformers fan getting into 40K.
Nice.
Please name a Primarch and the vehicle they would transform into.
So Jagatai would turn into a bike.
Oh, you cheater. You cheater.
That's an easy one. And it has to be a vehicle.
It has to be a vehicle.
Wait, you want to do like a Beast Wars one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Of course I do.
Go for it.
So Vulcan would turn into a Fire Drake.
Fire Drake. He would also turn into a fire truck. Actually, that puts out fires.
Russ would be a wolf, obviously. He would turn into a mecha wolf.
And what would his, he'd be like a BMX bike.
No, he'd be like a pickup truck.
A pickup truck? Like a country pickup truck.
A really lifted pickup truck.
Yeah.
No, because if it's lifted, like, then it's not as functional, right? And that's not him.
This is just like a rugged heavy-duty pickup truck.
Fulgrim would have a lifted pink Hummer limo. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Just let you process that for a second.
I had so many things for Fulgrim. There's like, Fulgrim is the easiest one.
Yeah, that's true.
You could do one of those like really pimped out like 50s muscle car type thing, but it's like really flamboyant, you know?
That's true. I like that.
That'd be good.
And Dorn would be a school bus.
And they all make fun of it.
I was trying to think of
They're like, oh, you dang kids. Like,
I was trying to think of the most utilitarian vehicle.
He's got the stop sign. He's like, stop.
No. That would be the correct answer.
A dump truck? Could it be a dump truck?
It is highly functional.
It's durable. It's functional.
Maybe cement. No, Per Rob would be a cement truck. He builds things. That's the reason why. That's the only reason, obviously.
Gentleman would be like a police car.
Yeah.
For sure.
This is a good one.
This is fun.
That's a good question.
James, let us write this comic too.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Manxie. What's your opinion on Archiflagels? I don't see many people take them.
Yeah.
But in my game, 93 attacks turn stuff like Land Raiders into mincemeat.
Totally.
This is true.
It's another question. Well, I still think Repentia are overall better, but
I think that's unquestionable.
To me, the main thing is, that's the thing, right? What they're really good at is killing hordes. They're great against
they have
Necrons.
More attacks.
They just have a ridiculous volume. Yeah. So they're great at dealing with Necron warriors. There was a time, even a month or two ago, when I was saying, like, if Necrons become overly prevalent with warriors, I honestly would start teching into one unit of Flagellants. Yeah,
you'd still have like 2 Repentia and one Flagellants.
Exactly.
The thing is, a Repentia squad can get almost all of a Necron squad. Especially if you soften them up.
So especially because in those matchups, what you do is you tech into the Sacred Rite that's exploding 6s instead of, you don't need the delivery as much.
That's right.
But you do need the exploding 6s. So then your 36 attacks generate on average 6 more attacks. So that's 42 attacks, and then you actually have enough.
It's enough to do it.
So they just kind of do the role a bit better. Maybe eventually they'll kind of distinguish the roles a bit more. I think that's what they need right now.
This is something that happens, we talked about in the Space Marine book. Everyone's like, hey, why don't I see this amazing unit?
Yeah.
And it's because there's another unit that does almost the same thing.
It overshadows it,
that's just like 5%, 10% more efficient. And both of them are still better than what everyone else has. Like Flagellants and these guys are both better than everything in the Grey Knight book, for example, or most of the game. So yeah, they're going to be great and they're going to wreck in your games. But if you're min-maxing, the Repentia are just better.
Yeah, well, they're more multifunction. Like I said, they get enough attacks. Like the Flagellants are good at clearing hordes, and that's it. These are great at both.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, thanks, Call Sign Matora. How do you and others you know who store their minis on open shelves deal with dust on detailed or delicate models for both painting, works in project, and complete?
That's a great question. Do you have an answer?
We are using them so frequently that I just don't think they don't sit all that long.
That's true. That's true.
I think that's the only reason our models aren't caked in dust.
I've never had any problems.
We actually use them a lot.
Yeah. My Chaos Knights were pretty dusty.
They were?
Which says a lot.
So that is how we keep them on open shelves. Otherwise, you're gonna have them on closed shelves or something.
Yeah,
like
the glass shelves will protect from that. Yeah, I agree. I don't have a solution for the open shelf thing, but just use them all the time. And
you just have a fan on all the time. That might work, right?
Well, definitely keep your room very clean. So like my gaming room at home it's in like a regular house home, so it has carpet, and so there's like lots of dust everywhere. So like constantly like be kind of cleaning that, and then air filter can obviously help. But I don't have a surefire way.
That's right.
Alrighty, thanks, Jev.
Hey.
Hey guys, please tell Big Ginger Sam he's a bad person for using Player of Twilight several times for Battle Round. Any ideas for viable 2K corn-only list?
No. Big Ginger Sam.
That's not the spirit of this.
Yeah, it's totally written as written. It's true. but as intended, we don't think so. And I will say, we have a very, very, very good track record with predicting what they intend and what they are actually trying to do. So, which actually came into play, was verified by that same FAQ. So we were like, yeah, we're not gonna play that way.
But yeah, I don't know if you're in a tournament setting, you could ask the judge at the start or something like that, and then use that ruling throughout. And there's many judges that will rule that you could do it in a tournament setting. With your friends, you probably shouldn't.
With my friends, I wouldn't. In a tournament setting, I would, especially if I saw even one other Harlequin player, I would go and I would ask, because I don't want to nerf myself for no reason.
Yeah.
If there's no other Harlequin players, probably just play it as is.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2K Khorne demon list?
Yeah.
Just Khorne.
Oh, Khorne, any Khorne. Well.
Are we assuming he's saying demon though?
Probably,
I mean, like, you could do.
Let's do mostly
Wordbears. You could do Chaos Knights.
Well, Wordbears are not.
Yeah.
Khorne.
Sorry.
World Eaters.
World Eaters. Same thing.
So what are the best demon units you'd tech into?
Bloodletters.
The Bloodletters, not bad.
And
Blood Crushers could have some
we like Blood Crushers. And a couple
Skull.
of big squads. You want big squads of them for the mortal wounds, right?
That's right.
Not like
they do
a bunch
that
of
thing
threes.
where they charge, do mortal wounds, and then can charge again, basically.
Yeah. So you want big squads of Blood Crushers.
Yeah.
Small squads of Hounds to spread out denies and just fast
Hounds
scoring.
are great.
They're awesome. And
couple big squads of Bloodletters for the drop with the banner and things like that. The Skull Cannons are not terrible.
They're actually like better than we thought.
Yeah.
Bridget's making a face. And then
the Bloodthirsters are kind of traps.
They're traps.
Yeah, so I probably wouldn't take them. Demon Princes could be good though.
Yeah, but they're Chaos Demon Princes.
I know.
But so you do kind of want
now we get into our detachment of Chaos Space Marines.
There we go.
Actually,
so now we have a small detachment of Chaos Space Marines, where we're World Eaters with Demon Prince there.
There you go, because the rerolls do cross over.
Yeah.
It's all Khorne demons.
And maybe even 2 Demon Princes there.
Yeah, totally.
And then some World Eaters Berserkers.
Lord of Skulls.
Lord of Skulls is fun.
Sure, why not?
No,
why
I'm not. I have one in my room. Do you know the box it comes in is like this big?
Yeah.
It's like the size of a starter box in Warhammer.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I was like, what is this thing I ordered? I was like, oh, okay.
You didn't even know.
No, I had no idea what it was.
That's so funny.
Because I ordered so much stuff. It was like a Games Workshop box like this, and it was at the very bottom, and it was the whole size of the box. I was like, what is this thing?
That's amazing.
Because it's one of the, it doesn't have a picture on it. It's like one of their white boxes that's
interesting.
blank. So
that's so weird.
Yeah, get your Lord of Skulls. It's fun. So I think what we just talked about was a lot, well over 2,000 points. So.
Oh, and you do want 1 Herald for the +1 strength.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd play that list. That sounds fun.
That sounds great.
Alrighty, thanks, Groutworks. Will the Titans be trying the new Maelstrom?
Yeah, it's out in White Dwarf, and it actually looks pretty fun. I feel like I want cards though. Like if they, I hate rolling.
It's just charts right now.
Yeah, you have to roll a D3, and then a D6, and it's from 3 separate charts, and you have to roll once from each chart, and then you have to keep track.
It sounds like a lot of overlays that I would have to.
Yeah, it's a pain, but we would definitely play it, and they made it a lot more interesting.
Okay.
There's like a lot of common house rules. Like if a card was impossible, there was a house rule that you could discard it.
Right.
That's a real rule.
There you go.
So that's good. And there's funny enough, there's a lot of rules in the game that allow you to manipulate Maelstrom. So it's like Ultramarines can let you like pick a different card and things like that.
Right.
And so there's fun stuff. So I really want to try it. But I'm going to kind of wait until we can have physical cards.
That's fair.
I think it's a little more interesting. Okay. I don't know when they will do that, if they will.
It'd be a lot of work to make our own.
It'd be a pain, but maybe we'll think about it. But it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thanks. Thor Machine, where the mug brownies at? Now hold on. Okay. He did bring the mug brownies.
Actually bring
How many mug brownies does this make?
I think it's 4 in a box.
Four
this
mug
is
brownies.
4 mug brownies?
It feels a little heavy.
A lot
it
of
does.
boxes.
What else do you put in it?
Water.
Just water?
Yep.
Could I put milk instead? Would it be better?
Nope.
Okay.
Why can't you put milk?
Because it's a chemical reaction.
Okay.
Yeah, the way he was describing this before was...
You only microwave it for like a minute,
Listen,
and it
I will
comes
do this
out at like 1,000 degrees.
I will do this right after, and I'm going to see what happens.
You will be disappointed. Your expectations
from
be
San
low.
Francisco. It's a Ghirardelli.
It is Ghirardelli,
You will still be disappointed.
I love... This is... Actually, I need to get a new one. Every like 6 months or so. I get...
A new what? Microwave?
I get a giant tub of the Ghirardelli hot chocolate powder.
Oh, yeah.
So good. Oh, it's not 6 months.
It's a famous San Francisco chocolatier.
They're also a billion calories. So
okay,
really?
With those. Yeah.
I'm down for it.
One of these tiny brownies is like 300 calories.
It's like a hamburger.
Well, it needs.
But the brownie's like 2 bites.
kind of a miracle, actually, of science.
If you're starving, it's like Lenda's bread, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, thanks, Gil. If not using the Forge World chapter tactics for Space Sharks, what would you use?
We have a couple we've talked about in the past.
Raven Guard is the common one, right?
Yeah.
For them?
But like a combat Raven Guard.
Oh, if you're going to make
right?
your own?
I don't know. Well, for Carcharodons?
Yeah.
You do just like straight up regular Raven Guard?
Yeah, that's fine. Inheritors of the Primarch is fine for me.
Yeah, I kind of like Raven Guard Successor with like all the combat traits.
The combat
basically.
ones, yeah. That makes more sense.
It's like a cool mix, right?
Blood Angel's Successor would be super strong.
That'd be tasty.
And a White Scar Successor would be really strong too.
Yeah, that's the other one I would pick probably too.
Yeah. Because those are all good combat options. Yeah.
Alrighty, thanks, Dan. Come on, Adrian, you got this. Don't tilt. Also, roll the dice gooder.
You rolled great.
I rolled great, and I had the advantage coming in, so the curse is broken. Yeah.
How many was that? The longest streak?
That was the longest streak. It was a lot.
So this is the longest streak of normally one of us has won, I think, 5 or 6 games in a row. Was the longest streak. Yeah. I don't know how many games this was.
I think it was like 8, so it was like 2 over the record.
Yeah, so this was the longest streak of my victories.
It was breaking me, man. Like, I don't mind losing. I really don't.
Yeah,
but like,
it was starting to get you.
Beat me once. Beat me 8 times in a row, though. That's emotionally
It's a little
draining.
much.
Yeah, so now I can go back to losing. It's fine.
Oh no, don't say that.
I'll lose for you, Adrian.
That's
on
right.
Tuesday.
Yeah, we're bringing in someone else.
Should we announce the vote again? I know we talked about it in the mainstream.
Oh, do you want me to check in, see where we are on the vote?
So we'll just announce it. So we have Tuesday is our members only game. And as always, we have our members vote on what it's going to be. We do have High Fleet Titan has arrived from the warp.
That's right.
It's made it through. And it's going to be going up against either Bridger piloting Blood Angels or me piloting my orcs. Another note that you made, which is a good thing to say, which is the fact that we will balance them. Obviously, the Blood Angels are much better than any of these armies.
I actually have a bunch of new Blood Angels models that have never hit the board
Really?
either. So more Assault Intercessors. I have a new, really cool Smash Captain.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And he is built off of the Chapter Master Ralduron from 30K.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I've given him the Sanguinor's Jump Pack. So he's kind of cool. And he's got you give him like a cool Relic Power Sword or something. So that'll be fun. I actually have a unit that you wouldn't expect, which is Suppressors.
Weird.
And
they do have jump packs, so they pass my bar.
They do have jump packs, exactly. But they also can turn off Overwatch, which can be helpful for the army sometimes.
That's cool, actually.
There's all kinds of things like that.
I'm down for it.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, thanks, Junior. New player between Tau or Imperial Fist in my super competitive friend local shop pool. Nailed it. Which do you recommend and any unit ideas? Open to other army recommendations. Pool is 90% Imperium and Space Marines. Well, that just sounds lame.
That's a bummer. I mean, right now it's an easy answer, though. Right?
If you're trying to be competitive.
Yeah, between Fists and
Tau. The Fists are a lot more competitive.
Correct.
They're maybe 4 times more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, if your friends are playing Space Marines, your Fists will probably be at a slight disadvantage because they're one of the weaker Space Marine factions. Now, you can, call them a successor of something else from time to time if you want, and you're just playing a tournament game.
Yeah.
So you can be like, oh, you're Salamanders? I'm Salamanders,
That's true. Well, especially because so they're painted yellow. I have Fists are my Space Marine army. They're a great color, but it's also there's a lot of successors that are yellow. Even the Dark Angels have a yellow successor.
Everyone has a yellow.
That's
successor.
nuts. So don't be afraid to do that if it makes sense. What's that?
Lamenters.
Yeah. I know Ultramarines. But they pretty much all have one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you hit the nail on the head right there.
Yeah, the Tower are a fun army. I like them a lot right now. But they're another army, kind of like Grey Knights, that like their just book is so far in the past, and they weren't able to just kind of patch them. Some of the armies they patched and made them good, like they patched Harlequins and made them good.
Yeah.
They haven't patched these armies to make them kind of up to snuff with what's out there right now.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, thanks, Bobson.
1
CP for Bridger. How would you fix Yanari so that Dark Eldar, Craft Worlds, and Harlequins could interact with each other without it getting super out of control, other than detachment costs?
Honestly, I would just reprint the entire thing into one core book. Maybe you can't use all the units from both armies, but just make it much more cohesive. Even fundamentally, fundamentally change some of these rules to make them work with Yanari. And then you could do. It just kind of removes the shackles. You could do almost anything and just make them synergistic and interesting. And they don't have to be such a weird hipster style army. They could just be another cool style of Eldar. That's what I would do.
So for me, what I would do is I would make a book where they have all their own strats and can't use any of their other strats, and all their own psychic powers as well. And so you lose everything from your other faction, but it's a new faction. So it's like even Farseers have to use this tree instead of that tree. And so just a little further than where they've gone today.
That is what it is now.
No, but you don't have to use those powers.
You have to.
Do you actually have to?
You do have to use those powers.
So what you can do is you can put the characters in regular detachments and keep them.
But that's the thing.
But if you're Yanari, you have to do only Yanari stuff.
So that's
not truly Yanari then.
No, I'm trying to push it further. What I'm trying to say is you can't have a craftful detachment. You literally are a Yanari army. That's the way I see it. It's like if you're Yanari, it's not like an allegiance. It's like this is a following, and you're following it this way. And when you can do it so that you have to force it to be one thing, you can make it a lot stronger because they're worried about interactions that I think get really janky. If there's no interactions, just you can make it standalone balanced good. It's the interactions that I think trip them up and make it weaker. That's the thing I'm thinking.
Interesting.
You force them into it, and then you make it actually good.
Yeah. So that's and that's the kind of core concept of what we're trying to say is they're worried about those particular interactions. So just keep it limited, keep the scope manageable so that they can.
I'll take it a step even further.
Okay.
Nice.
Limited unit selection.
Yeah, that's what he said.
But then their own data sheets. New data sheets.
I was thinking about that
models.
too. Yeah, totally. I was thinking about that too. That's interesting.
Yeah. 100%.
So it's like a troop is like slightly different or something.
So there's no interactions, and you can balance them around totally different concepts.
Yeah.
Like troops and Harlequins might do something different than troops in
100%. I think that'd be so cool.
So just make it its own thing.
I think it's cool as well. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Curtis. What happened to the mug brownies? They're right there.
They're here.
We have them.
Don't worry.
We have.
I'll make them after. I'll make 900 calories worth.
Oh gosh.
Jeez.
Not for just me.
That's a lot of mug brownies. All right, thanks, James. I play Mefrit Necrons.
Nice.
What units would you recommend attack into the Mefrit shooting buffs apart from warriors? We've got 50 of those already.
Well, shoot.
Well, that's a lot of warriors.
Tomb Blades?
They're okay.
I'm only scared of Tomb Blades with a Mefrit, I guess is the context.
Yeah, because you can keep Tomb Blades cheap, and then they can get dangerous. The one thing is Tomb Blades can get up really fast. They have strat to advance and shoot, so they can actually be pretty fast.
Yeah.
The problem is when they actually get up there and shoot, they're shooting just like as good as your warriors at the end of the day. So it's like, cool, they're just like really not as good warriors.
Yeah.
And the warriors can get up the board. They're not really struggling that badly.
That's fair. What would you take then?
Not much else, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need much else help. Like, if I've got 2 squads of warriors or something like that, I'm getting the job done.
2 catacomb command barges?
Yeah, of course. But, like, you're not using Mefrit. Like, something that makes Mefrit shine.
That's the thing.
Like, Immortals are cool, but they don't need it, really.
No.
And so, yeah, you're right that Tomb Blade's probably one of the more interesting ones.
Night Scythe is cool because you can drop guys in super close and get all your buffs immediately.
Yes.
So it lets you project that.
This is true.
You sound skeptical.
No, it's fine. You can do that with anyone and it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's extra good because the whole thing with them is you can drop.
Your Reapers are more in range.
You're in your range of like -2.
But it's still what we're talking about is the warriors are the thing that's doing it.
Oh, sure.
This is just a delivery mechanism.
Yeah.
The warriors pull the weight of the Necron faction.
Yeah.
Well, doubly so with Mefrit, but yeah.
That's true. It's really just the warriors. I think you don't have to try to get the most out of the rest of Mefrit. One of the things I love with Mefrit is you can take a command barge and you can get him up to strength 8.
Yeah.
And extra attacks. And so he actually kills Marines fairly reliably.
Which is important.
Which is great, yeah.
All right, thanks, Lupercalius. Do you guys think Ultramarines, White Scars, and so on will get new supplements? If so, what would you like to see? Eventually.
I'm not expecting it, anytime soon.
Because they're not really broken. No. Like, they're totally fine.
They're in line now.
Yeah.
GW does listen, and when everybody says, ugh, another Space Marine Codex for months on end, I don't think they're going to keep...
They're like, oh.
Yeah, they're like,
okay. Guess we'll put the Grey Knights one on the shelf for a little longer.
That's what they're hearing. They're like, no more Space Marines. They're like, space. Oh, okay.
They're like, so yeah, eventually maybe.
I think eventually they will. I'm fairly happy with them. Do they stand up to, let's say, the Dark Angel supplement? Like, nope.
No, but you can you can take things from the Dark Angel supplement and say, oh, White Scars, bikes could be OBSEC.
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Totally. But they would reprint that. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's there would be a reason to do it, but I don't necessarily want those other 6 Space Marine all at the strength of Dark Angels. That sounds horrible.
Maybe the Fists.
Maybe the Fists.
They need a reprint.
Nah, they're fine.
I would take an FAQ. Something.
Give me anything.
5 points reduction.
I'm gonna take them against the Silent King just cause.
That's not gonna go well.
No.
All right, thanks, Noah. To what extent does playing well mitigate poor dice rolls? Also, can Bridgers say, "Go blimey, it's Mary Poppins"?
That was so good. Thank you.
That was perfect. Thank you. You made my day.
That's amazing.
Yeah, can bad dice rolls be mitigated by good play?
A lot.
Like almost entirely.
That's what I was gonna say. Almost entirely.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, when you're playing Warhammer well, you're trying to reduce any variance, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to you want it to all be about your decisions, making the right decisions, and not like randomness. So you're you're putting yourself in positions where that doesn't matter. Again, that's why I love the sisters, because none of that matters a lot of the time at the key moments, right?
Yeah.
And
so a lot of the things that get us most of the points in a game actually have nothing to do with rolling at all. It's like, oh, cool, you have 3 things on here. It's like, I'll make sure like I've got it, so I'll advance to get within range here, so that I'm not even taking a charge.
Absolutely.
And would the charge have wiped the squad and got me on? Yeah. But I'm not going to. I need like a 1-inch advance to get on. So it's a guaranteed thing rather than even a 10% chance to fail, and it's important. And we will do that all day and night against each other. And if you look, most of the points we're picking up are from things that didn't require dice rolls.
Yeah. But the exciting thing is
the exciting things are the dice rolls.
Well.
Yeah, but if you're losing and if you can't do that, it's because your list is wrong.
Yeah.
Because your list isn't giving you the tools to do those things.
Exactly. That's the other big thing. Is like it happens at the list design phase,
that's
right? Again, watch Thursday's game.
Yeah.
One list doesn't require things to happen, rolling well, and one list requires a lot of that, right? And so you see the interaction between those two things.
Right.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thanks, Josh. Hey guys, wondering what you thought of Wordbears. Are they any good?
They're not the best, but I actually place them up there if you're willing to tech into them the right way. So I think a lot of people. A lot of competitive Chaos players actually are taking a detachment of them for the Sorcerer with the bonuses to cast.
That's right.
And so that's the main reason, to be honest. Just that alone, the strat is amazing. But then I think also like things like Possessed get really upgraded by them. The character becoming a Demon Prince or Demon is interesting. So I think they have really interesting things to take.
They work well, as you're pointing out, as a detachment.
As a support, really.
They bring a few things. They don't necessarily level up all the units. Correct. And that's actually every Legion right now has like 1 or 2 things they're amazing at. And you almost want 3 separate Legions in a way just to have all these tools, but it eats a lot of CP.
Agreed.
So, but it's not crazy. Like I might consider paying, I would definitely pay 2 CP to tech into another Legion. I would even consider paying 4 CP to tech into 2 other Legions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Kyle. With the new Disgusting Resilience doing wonders for Death Guard, how do you think All Is Dust is in comparison? What do you think they'll change about it?
Ooh, that's interesting.
All Is Dust is tough for me right now because, okay, let's say you put them up to 2 wounds.
Right.
The whole game is 2 wounds now.
Yeah.
And they only get their benefit against single damage.
Yeah.
And no one's going to be bringing single damage anymore.
Well, except for the fact that Disgustingly Resilient does exist.
Yeah.
Which means you don't want to tech into damage 2.
You want to tech into damage 3.
Or D6 or...
If you can.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. It's like people want lots of damage.
Yeah.
And so I think All Is Dust will lose... If it stays the same, I think it'll lose value in a world where most of the game's been up to 2 wins.
Yeah, that's interesting. Is there something that it could be changed to be better? More relevant, I guess, is the answer, not better?
Maybe under a certain strength. So it's like strength 5 or less.
Yeah.
Or
that'd be cool.
Then maybe. I'm not sure.
You could give them permanent transhuman?
No,
but yeah, I don't know. Strength 5 or less could be interesting.
Yeah.
Where you're just +1 save. Just another way to represent the same sort of idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I dig it.
All right, thanks, Super Edie. Question on Kyle's behalf. Would you wait, we just did that one. Super Edie, you're a nice guy.
Thanks, Super Edie.
But you just repeated. You repeat super chatted.
Maybe
and then one for me too. All right, we're back on track. What about possible new Thousand Suns units to bulk out the range?
Ooh, what are they missing, really? Dedicated shooting units. Like, everything they take is, like, generic shooting.
That's true.
Like, if they have, like, a Thousand Suns tank that shoots, like, Cybolts.
Something that's, like, super, like, warp-fueled.
Yeah.
You know? That could be fun.
That'd be so sick. Yeah,
have, like,
absolutely.
their own cool demon engines?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That would be rad.
It could be... That would be cool. Kind of like... I would love it to have abilities similar to the Vortex Beast.
Yeah.
But like the identity is not built around that. It's like it's a primary firing tank, but it also has like a summoning platform.
Yeah.
That gives like a bonus to cast every once in a while or something. Like,
that sounds rad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Make it so, James.
I would take that.
Because I think overall, like they have a bunch of units in kind of different roles.
They get like a cool pyramid terrain piece.
Yes.
Gives them some energies.
That'd be amazing.
It's actually just like a library. They can check books out. D6, they check out a book, they learn a new spell.
Right.
Oh,
Draco
could
shows
have,
up to turn his book in.
Like the Hyro Titans from Fantasy.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Cool. That'd be so sick.
Yeah, they could do a lot with that faction.
They could.
All right.
More.
Thanks, Jay Taylor. Would you use Outriders and Space Wolves?
Yes, absolutely, totally. I would.
I'd use them in all factions.
If it's in the Indominus box, you can use it in any Space
Wolf
faction.
They work well as Space Wolves because they are Outriders are almost always out on their own, and this makes them even more independent because they have so many attacks. Getting that hit on 2s can be really good. Don't expect them to be around long enough to get into your Super Doctrine because you're throwing them away early game. So you're not getting your Exploding 6s, which actually would be pretty cool on them. But they have enough attacks generally to make the charge and do some cool work. So I think they're great.
They're awesome. And they're your early game, engage on all fronts, hold up objectives, throw into someone to slow them down while the rest of your army catches up,
Agreed.
Very cool.
Alrighty, thanks, Chad. Donating to find out if Bridger brought the mug brownies.
Yeah, mug brownies.
People are really into the mug brownies.
We were invested in this concept.
Now I feel bad that we didn't get a time to throw them in the mugs yet.
We had time to make them just before the show in like 1 minute, but then it would have just burned our face off.
They're so hot when you come out of the microwave. It's
That's
a weird.
funny.
I'm curious how they do it.
Yeah,
it's magic.
Made with real chocolate chips. That's the only thing.
I like how they had to say that.
Yeah, that's the only, and you probably add
that's
them
the
after,
only real
right?
thing.
Yeah.
The rest
like, that's not the main, okay. The rest is just sawdust.
No, it's some weird, like, fake baking thing. I don't know how they do it, but...
There's not a lot of weird stuff in it, actually, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Well,
it turns pretty legit.
From a sludge to a baked product in a minute in the microwave, so there's something weird going on.
This is, yeah, you're right. This is actually, like, normal stuff.
It is normal stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
It's magic. Unless, can you just normally bake in a microwave? You can't do that.
You can, yeah, but not well.
Right.
Not well. You know what my discovery was I actually didn't capitalize this because I learned it too late in my life, but if I learned it when I was in college, it would have been great, is scrambled eggs in a mug in the microwave, and they get, like, fluffy and poofy, and, like, totally, like, edible.
Weird.
I found this because...
like, is it better than cooking them? Are you trying to say?
No,
it's
it's like 30 seconds, like, food.
Oh, I should do that.
Scrambled eggs already only take, like, a minute and a half, right?
But, Brian, you have to get a pan out.
No. If you make, like, good scrambled eggs, that takes time. You gotta, like, scramble them properly, get some milk, get some garlic.
Oh, okay, you're saying pepper, making them good,
like, properly.
versus making them
Think of all the dishes you just
bad.
But good is still, like, less than 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's better than bad.
I understand.
You know? Yeah. Anyways.
You're saying the time to goodness ratio is reasonable. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, like, I wouldn't do this currently, but like I said, when I was in college, I totally would have done it.
Okay.
But now I'll just make real
Why in college do people just live terrible lives?
Because you're busy. You got a lot going on.
Is you busy or you think
Are
you're
you
busy?
that busy?
And it's your first time living on your own. So you don't know how to live as an adult yet.
That's true.
Okay.
I'm still working on that one.
I've made no progress.
We're working on you, especially.
But, money solves all problems, Adrian.
I just remember, like, waking up after, like, on a Saturday morning. It's like we had, like, a big old party last night. I got up at, like, 8 in the morning, grab a bag of Doritos, a coffee, and run to the soccer field to play intramural soccer, and just, like, totally hungover. Like, I could never do that. I would just die, like, instantly. But it's like you're young. You're like, whatever.
You're invincible.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I have, like, one drink. I'm like, ugh, I'm dead.
Yeah, just waking up at 8 a.m. kills you anyways, not alone trying to have a Dorito.
That's true. All right, thanks, Moomix. I play Grey Knights weekly. Grandmaster and regular Dread Knights do not explode. They don't have that keyword or explosion on the profile.
Explain what happened here, Bridger.
Right.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of these, so strap in. Let's just resolve this now.
Yeah.
And then we can speed through all these super chats where everybody was mad about Dread Knights exploding. Okay, so what happened was Brian said it explodes. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I just thought it did.
Seems legit. I go to the app to check because people in chat are saying Dread Knights don't explode. And I don't have the GW app because I hate it and the search is terrible. I have a different, very old app that only works for very old...
It's an app with all the data sheets in it.
With all the old data sheets.
Yeah.
It's not up to date for 9th. Luckily, Grey Knights aren't in 9th edition.
That's right.
So I pulled up Dread Knight. Boom, says explodes. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Chat's still going on. No, Dread Knights don't explode. And I looked at the...
But you read your data sheet and it said
I looked at the Grandmaster and I was like, that doesn't explode. You guys are right. The Grandmaster doesn't
So you
explode.
thought that explained it all.
Yeah. And I looked back at the normal Dread Knight and I was like, yep, still says 6-inch D3 explosion.
Yeah.
Seems
so
legit.
just the app you were using had a typo in it.
Correct. And then by the time
it was
chat was like fully convicted at hating me. by the time they got there,
you're a brave man.
Adrian was gonna blow out this game no matter what.
Yeah, that's true. I did do a bunch of mortal wounds. I killed nothing. And none of the things I did wounds to died.
Yep.
And 2, it's like what? That's so much reverse.
Reversing
all that.
Well, if it mattered, we would just be like bloop bloop bloop. We're done, and we're done.
That's right. If it would have impacted the game even a little bit, we would have went back and changed it. But by the time we found out it was clear the game was over, and none of those models were at risk of dying, so it was actually fine. But yes, thank you for catching it. The app we used was just activated.
Yeah, do let us know civilly, and then Bridger will make the call. So he made the call, and it was the right call. Yeah. So it's all good.
Oh,
meaning
you
made the wrong ruling on the rule, but like not pausing the game
call.
And going back. Like again, it didn't matter. So
in this game, it didn't matter.
It's a thing that always comes around. So do mention it, but he's a nice boy. Be nice to him.
Oh, thank you. I wonder how many of these super chat people are even still here. Thanks, my Thantor. Fix the Dread Knight explosion. No, I refuse.
Well, we kind of did. We fixed it by just making it not matter.
Yeah. That's right.
All right, thanks. Miko, this is a clarification on what Uriel did. You remember we answered the Uriel question?
Uriel
we don't know.
Uh-huh.
Uriel is up for pre-order now, today.
Oh, great.
So you can buy him now.
I will do it.
AS is Adaptive Strategy, and OB is Orbital Bombardment. He reduces both strats to 1 CP, and Orbital Bombardment can be used twice.
So Orbital Bombardment is not super playable because you do it one turn and it has to happen the next turn. So your opponent chooses whether they take it or not. Now you could put it in places where they don't want to move out of, but that really relies on the matchup and the board.
If it's 1 command point, that's pretty tasty though.
It's cute just for forcing their hand. But Adaptive Strategy is a good strat, and making that cost 1 is good.
That's nuts. So who is this? The Ultramarine guy, the new one?
Yeah, Uriel Ventress.
Wow.
And he's just a captain.
He's pretty good in combat. Yeah, he's a captain.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And you can buy him normally, or is he part of the Warhammer Celebration or something?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, well, look, I'm definitely going to get him.
Sweet.
I'm actually painting a huge number of Ultramarines right now.
That's right, yeah.
As you know, I do batch painting.
Finally doing it.
I do batch painting. Blue in the and I was waiting. Yeah, so I did my first layer of blue. It took me a long time because there's a lot of models.
Yeah.
I don't know how many points this is, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's well over 2,000 points that I'm adding to my Ultramarines.
That's great.
And it took me a long time to build it all, too. So the thing that'll ruin me is that he'll come just as I finish the batch, and then I'm like, I got to break out the airbrush for this one guy, but I'll do it. It's fine.
That's funny. I have an idea for you.
So we think he's probably pretty good.
Sounds great.
That's what I've read on the internet as well. He's probably pretty good.
Yeah, he looks like fun. This is a cool idea, like a guy who's like makes this one strat really easy to use. I think it's neat.
You know what's funny? Is like I know you're getting all this new stuff, but like that makes the aggressors much better.
Yes.
Because you can put like they want to be in all 3 doctrines.
That's true.
That's
so.
Well, we'll put some aggressors in there.
You only need 1 unit now. You don't have to run like 18 or whatever we have.
That's right.
Alrighty. Oh, the 1 CP is only in Crusade. That's what I'm being told.
Ah, useless.
That's a big change.
All right, so he's just cute then.
That's
we'll house roll it.
The big oof.
That was a blah blah blah.
If I yell the word Crusade at the beginning, it means I get to do it.
Crusade.
Yeah, then I get to do it.
That's true.
I think it would be cool. The double bombardment, like you just pick 2 points. Because there's like 2 sides of the board that they want to move up on. And you're just like, don't go there.
I think
don't
it's
move up anywhere. Stay in your deployment zone. The board's mine.
Like you said, situational.
It's cute.
Yeah. It's definitely playable now. Before it was unplayable.
I would do it every game. Just because I could.
Just because you could.
Remember the first game we played? And I was
When
like, turn 1, we're like,
turn.
and I'm doing it. And we're like, So first thing of 9th edition? Just kidding. I'm doing Because I was like, this is amazing. Why would you never not do this?
Because we blah, blah, blah that it happens the next turn.
Yeah.
This is becoming a problem for us.
It's a problem. Well, and that's what'll get you. It's the rules that you assume are the same.
Right.
And it's fundamentally changed in a weird way.
Alrighty, thanks, Mike. I came here for the sweaters, and all I got was a single cardigan.
It's a brand new one. Never seen before.
This is a sweater.
Sweatshirt.
It's a sister's
this is one
pullover sweater.
Sweatshirt.
Yeah. It's one of ours. That's right.
There's a distinction, Brian.
What?
Still
a sweater and a
sweater
sweatshirt.
and sweatshirt.
Really?
There's a distinction if you want there to be. It's still the super category of sweater, and then there's the sub keywords.
When you go on the internet and you buy a sweater and you get a sweatshirt, I think you'll be disappointed.
No.
Not if it was in the sweater/sweatshirt category.
It's not a category.
It is. I'm saying it right now.
I like how, Bridger did the opposite of defending our channel.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, they're saying they came for sweaters. There were no sweaters.
I think there are sweaters. We've got this awesome sister sweater, brand new.
Cardigan's the type of
never
sweater.
seen before.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, these are both sub-races of sweaters.
That's right. Yeah, they're both part of the super faction sweaters.
That's right.
All right, thanks, Super Edie. Let's get some more memes going.
Yeah.
Last time I asked for you to pose as your favorite models. Can you now pose as the worst? P.S. Bridger isn't allowed to do Talon Master. Darn. Can I be a Telemon?
Here,
the worst.
Here's the disco pose typhus.
That's right.
You gotta do it, Brian.
He's got the hand out like this.
Yeah.
He's up and he's got the axe.
Yes.
And that's him.
That's beautiful.
Like, I don't know. Why is he doing that?
It's so goofy.
It's a little goofy.
He's so cartoony.
He is.
Like, it's not...
It's a nice model, though, other than the pose.
That's true. I don't know. What I like models.
Can you do the Telemon for me?
The Telemon?
The Telemon.
He's like that.
That's a good one.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
Thanks. Dark Angel Martin. Hey, Titans. Great to see Brian back at the table. If you were Deathwing playing Sisters, what challenges do you think you'd have to overcome?
So you're the Dark Angels against the Sisters.
Right.
It's actually going to be a tricky match, right?
It is.
Like, you still got all the tools in the world, though.
Yeah.
Like, your base units are tough, and there's a risk that they could bounce off you. Which would be a problem, right? Like, even the Repentia, because they could end up wounding you poorly, they could just, like, it could not work out well, right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it.
And they're 2 damage?
They're 2 damage.
So, yeah, if you had a big unit of Terminators you had to put out front, you put the -1 damage on them, and then you could make it so that it'd be scary to put a unit of Repentia at them.
Yeah.
Even the Meltas could be a little tricky, but the shooting would be some of your best.
The shooting would be the way to do it largely.
Yeah. So how do you work against the shooting? I guess you just have to play the board.
I think it's actually interesting matchups where both factions have counters and solutions to each other. So like you don't put your Repentia into there; they have to go somewhere else, which then is something that the Dark Angels can play too, knowing that they don't want to put their Repentia in there. And I think it's actually pretty interesting back and forth.
Are there any of the auras worth turning off? If I turn off any of the Triumph's auras, like which one would be good? The one where you get to like manipulate or something like that?
The Imagifier.
The Imagifier's aura would be amazing.
So the -1 and the +1 strength.
Yeah, so obviously the
Preacher.
The army has some great tools, especially fight first. Like I could throw fight last on some of your big squads and things like that.
That actually would hurt almost more
But
than
you have
anything.
so many Repentia squads, you can have several of them up, and also you keep them in the Rhino so they can't be targeted.
That's true. That's
true. So it would be a good game.
Actually, yeah, I think so. We should try it.
But man, I think the Sisters have way more tools. The Dark Angels just have great data sheets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like raw efficiency, but the game would work at the pace of the Sisters. The Sisters choose the pace, they choose the engagements.
Yeah.
The Dark Angels are just like, when you choose your engagement, it better work.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, you bounce off, now you're in trouble.
The fear is like, once the Dark Angels take the field, they don't need to do anything.
Like the ball's in your hand. But what I'm saying is you get to choose when and where to engage, though, which is always an edge.
Right. But like in this matchup, you're like, cool, 10 Terminators, on the point, Obsec covering it. Yep. And then like something that's hidden that's more Terminators here. It's like...
You'd have to give up that point for like 2 turns. You'd melt it like crazy for 2 turns, and then you'd come in and try to mop it up. Something like that.
So you're saying, yeah, okay. Yeah. It's interesting.
And I couldn't get, I'd be hard pressed to get back at your Melta because you have such good range.
That's true. That's true.
So I don't know. I think I personally would think that you'd have to plan how to dig out their shooting. That would be your big plan. How to get to their shooting.
Yeah.
Well, it's a game we'll try sometime.
I think so.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thanks again, Martin. So I have a technical question. When 9th Ed launched, people talked about a rule set to defend, but I've not seen it come up in your battle reports.
Yeah.
We tend not to use the heavy cover.
Well, no, all buildings have it.
It's the defensible keyword.
It's defensible, yeah.
Which,
so,
yeah.
Okay, so this keyword does 2 things. Basically, if you're in, like, let's say I'm touching this piece of terrain, I can either overwatch on 5s or I can have +1 to hit in the subsequent combat. You'd be surprised how rarely it comes up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time we're either deliberately not trying to not touch the terrain, or the thing that's getting charged, the overwatch isn't worth it, or it's yes, like let's say I managed to charge these girls, and they got the +1 to hit, and you didn't declare it because you wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't have mattered. You would have had 1 girl, and so yes, it's an efficiency you should have declared, but it rarely comes up. There are times when it matters more, and I was thinking about, remember that last Dark Angels game where you were like all in the center. There was that turn where everyone went into charge. You could have made them all +1 to hit or whatever.
So like, +2 to hit.
But yeah, exactly. +2 to hit.
But it matters because I had fists.
That's right.
So, hitting
so there was a situation like that I realized like several turns later. And things like that can matter.
Yeah.
It's a rule that we do not use as much as we should.
Yeah, totally. I think that's true for a lot of channels though. Like, I've never seen anyone use it, which is funny.
I know, but you should.
It's one of the most forgettable rules.
We'll try to be better about that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Martin.
All right, thanks, Gonzalo. Hey, Titans. Decided to go Iron Hands as my second army after Tau. What are some must-have models I should get? Ordered a Forge World Contemptor Dread to start.
Sweet. That's great. Wales like the Redemptors.
The Redemptors are really solid.
Yep. Obviously the Primaris Tech Marine or Iron Father Pharaohs.
That's right. You're going to call him Iron Daddy?
Iron Daddy. He's Iron Daddy.
I like either a Venerable Dreadnought or an Ironclad Dreadnought to make a character dread.
Yep.
Those are really, really solid.
Yeah.
Obviously, standard apothecaries, things like that. You could also, it's not crazy to tech into one good vehicle.
Yes.
Because what you do is every turn you plan to give that vehicle the Heavy Doctrine, and you can even give it exploding 6s to wound, and you could give it -1 damage.
And +1 to hit.
And +1 to hit, and then you can heal it. And so that one big vehicle becomes less of a liability.
Yeah.
You can also give it an invuln if you needed to.
Yeah.
And so that one big vehicle is whatever you're interested in. I'm interested in the Fire Raptor, so that was my one big vehicle.
Right.
And be honest, if I put that Fire Raptor on the table in almost any game,
I'm scared.
You would be.
I'm scared.
There's almost no army you could think of that wouldn't be scared.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Like even this army that has so much Melta, right? The problem is that I could dig out your Melta. Like you'd have one shot.
And you're at range.
I'm at range.
It's so
tough
to
you
reach
increase the range with one unit, and you'd have to drop it.
You know what's funny? It's like maybe the Retributors even go into the Rhinos in the Repentio walk.
Yeah.
Because I need any way I can possibly get closer to you. That's funny.
Yeah.
No, it's really scary. Astreus is obviously cool too.
The Astreus is cool. That's even more points. It's like 300 more points, but it's still amazing.
Super cool.
So yeah, that's a fun thing to do. It memes on your opponents a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's a cool way to play your big model and actually have it be good.
Right.
Whereas most of the time you bring those big models and they just explode.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If you do that though, it's important. Well, in all this, it's important to remember not lose sight of your ability to score.
Still gotta play the game.
Don't forget those smaller intercessor squads. Yeah. Even things like you don't think of as Iron Hands that are still useful for just scoring, right? Outriders and things like that. It's like you need to be able to play the game. So it's easy to get like tunnel vision with Iron Hands, especially.
Yeah.
But don't forget,
just bring all the shooting.
You have to score.
You have to score. Yeah.
Exactly.
Alrighty, thanks. Oz, Space Marine question. For Raven Guard, in your opinion, what's the best intercessors with standard, stalker, or auto bolt rifles?
Standard.
Standard. Do the heavy intercessor guns, they don't have the strat to target characters anymore. They used to, which is why I used to like them.
Correct. The stalkers lost that.
Yeah,
the stalkers used to be able to target characters.
That was dumb.
And that was so strong because they would have their bolters wounding characters on 2s.
Yeah.
And they were 2 damage bolters.
Yep.
Were they 2 damage?
Yep.
Yeah, they were 2 damage. So it was very, very, very mean.
Dark Times is great.
So you'd have this 10-man squad, and it's just like at range, 10 shots, hitting any character. It was so evil.
It was evil.
But yeah, just now the rapid fires are the way to go, right?
Yeah, you need to be able to move. You don't have ways of mitigating that.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not 9th edition.
That's right. Not 8th edition.
No, it is 9th edition.
What?
Never mind.
I know what he was saying.
The weapon is not a 9th edition weapon.
I know what he was saying. We were saying the same things in different ways.
That blew my mind a little bit.
We do that all the time.
Yeah,
we say the same things with different words.
Alrighty, thanks again, Martin. Adrian and Brian, how are your Dark Angel armies coming on? And are there any elements of them you're super excited about? Maybe Adrian conversions at play.
Ooh. Yeah, so my command squads are all totally custom. I apologize if I mentioned this before, but they're Cataphracti base with, I have a 3D printer, as we know, so I've printed a bunch of parts where I have like awesome like shoulder pads and like hooded heads, some of them with like a knight helmet underneath.
That's awesome.
And then a custom storm shield that is all like kind of chiseled like the actual like angel and everything. So they look distinctively different from everything else.
Which is definitely actually helpful on the table.
It's so helpful. So it's really cool. That's one of the big things.
And you have a custom Azrael you've done too.
Custom Azrael, which I'm really happy with. Yeah. With like Indominus Captain, a bunch of other parts, and the old Dark Vengeance helmet. Yeah. So really, really happy with them. They're coming along. I just got, like I said, my brother sent me the Dark Vengeance Terminators. I have 10 of them. I need some more Storm Shields, but I don't know if I can bring myself to to chop up those models at all because they're really pretty.
3D prints more?
I might try to 3D print some arms for them because the Stormbolter arms are all very like magnetizable.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't like they're really gorgeous models and I don't want to ruin them. So I might end up doing that to just finish it up.
I'm not doing it just yet. I'm going to finish up 2 other projects first.
Yeah.
So the batch paint Ultramarines and then the World Eaters. Yeah. And then I'll go back into them.
Sounds great.
Alrighty, thanks Broken Chef. Morning Titans. Favorite loadout for crisis suits. I find the options add a lot of depth to them.
Yeah. Okay. There's quite a few options that are actually strangely viable, and it's because they're all almost equally bad. And so I used to love the Ion because I used to make this unit really strong.
Yep.
I don't like the Ion anymore, so I wouldn't take the Ion or the Fusion. If I want one of the good guns, the Missile Pod is the one I'm interested in because I can keep them safe at range. And you can either go 3 Missile Pods or 2 with an ATS. If you're going 3, you can even consider going an all-missile army and taking the Sept that gives you +1 AP, so that's cool. Other than that, the cheap weapons are interesting to me, particularly the air-bursting fragmentation or even the Flamer. You have to give the advanced targeting system in either case. The ATS allows you to just always keep the air burst allows you to keep them out of line of sight and just chip some damage because it's an ignore line of sight and it's also a blast weapon. And the Flamer allows you to build semi-screens with them where you will overwatch really, really well, even if you're not a Sept that overwatches particularly well. It can synergize with Farsight because they reroll wounds already, so you can get in close. But remember, they're just Strength 4 Flamers, AP 1. It'll get through some things, but not all of the things. You know?
And the AP 1's only with the ATS.
Only with the ATS.
Which you need.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thanks again, Martin. Only just joined, so I need to check a few things. Adrian appears to be winning. Is he rolling above average? He gets Miracle Dice to fix his bad rolls.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, look, I have a 1, 2, 2, 2, and a 4. Because I just would immediately burn my good ones. Yeah. And that's all I need.
You had I think 5 6s and 2 5s in this game.
That's great. So I generated a lot though.
That's all you need, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's a few clutch ones. It's such an art form, and chat still helps me with that too. They're like, do the thing, and I'm like, oh, I'll do the thing.
Thanks again, Martin. What is happening? Adrian. Okay. I thought for a second there I was reading the same one twice and I wasn't. So okay. What is happening? Adrian is rolling hits and just cleaning stuff off the board. Yeah. Like a BA, maybe he could make Black Knights work if he puts sister outfits on them.
That's so true.
Now, do you mean Black Knights or Deathwing Knights?
No. I'm starting to get it right. Like 50% of the time now, I have it right.
Black Knights aren't bad. They're just not as efficient.
They're not as efficient. Yeah. I did convert some of those up too.
Yeah.
And they're going to be in the second wave of my Dark Angels.
Okay, cool.
All right, thanks, Ian. 3 Inquisitors, 1 from each Ordo, and 3 patrols, 1 each of Deathwatch, Sisters, and Grey Knights. At 2,000 points, what do you cherry pick from each chamber militant?
Oh, that's so cool.
I don't actually know all the cool rules of all the Inquisitors super well.
Yeah.
Because I don't actually own any. So, I don't know. Do you know any of them, Bridger?
Karamazov's the coolest.
But you don't know what he does. You just know it's a wacky model.
Yeah.
One of them synergizes with Imperium. I remember when it came out, it was like interesting. It was like might have even been an Invuln or something. And I would take the new Inquisitor. Well, I keep talking about her every time, but the Xenos specific one, because she has the targeted smite and another really good ability. So she's just good. So that's your Xenos one. And then whatever the one that is that buffs all Imperium.
Yeah.
And then the third one, I'd have to see what it is because I haven't.
We should maybe chat. Let us know which. Like I'll pick up a couple of the Inquisitors to add because I obviously have a lot of Imperium armies.
Sure. Oh, the guy with the demon host. You gotta get him.
And let me know which ones you think are the most interesting to splash in and what they do. Hit me up.
I have a bunch at home. We just never play them.
Yeah, we should do it.
The guy with the Demon Host is the coolest because Demon Host goes Super Saiyan when it's near him.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's like +2 to wound or something.
Talking about Eisenhorn here?
Yeah, you're talking about Eisenhorn, right?
Yeah.
It drives me insane that you don't.
That he doesn't know Eisenhorn.
Name. Yeah.
It's like a million books written about this guy.
I stored all.
The guy with the Demon Host.
I stored all my knowledge. Yeah. Karamazov. That's it.
And the Demon Host is called Cherubiel. He also has a name.
No, in the game it's actually just called Demon Host.
Yeah, but it's literally Cherubiel.
That's right.
Yeah, but in the game it's called Demon Host.
You know what? Take your dang brownies back.
No, okay.
Brian, the 300 calories. Don't do it.
All right, thanks again, Martin. If Bridger gets to play Blood Angels, can we force him to take a squad of Deathwing as an Aux detachment? I mean, they are famous for fighting Nids.
That'd be amazing.
No.
We're trying to not have him throw the game.
Yeah, that's true. We're not going to give him like 20, 30 Sangrenade Guard, but we're also not going to give him an army that can't play.
I would like 50 sanguinary.
I'm sure you would.
This is true though. If we gave him the Deathwing, on the other hand, like he couldn't really throw the game.
Well, I could throw away that unit.
You'd be hard pressed.
I don't have enough psychic to do it.
I'll advance it like, oh, it's Deathwing, not Ravenwing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll deep strike it.
Just put it in the corner.
In your back corner.
Yeah.
You wait till turn 3, deep strike it in your own back corner.
Yeah.
Except I'm producing, so I'd be like, and he has While We Stand, so they're now invincible,
right.
and you win.
All right, thanks again, Martin. How many Deathwing Knights is too many? I'm planning on having 2 units of 5, but I do really love them and could convert my Forge World Termies for a 3rd squad.
I probably wouldn't go more than the 10, to be honest.
Yeah.
I personally like the regular ones better, like competitive-wise. But if you're running 2x5, I think you can get one with Rights of War, one with Steadfast.
And this is because you're giving up OBSEC.
You're giving up OBSEC.
Which that's the only reason. Otherwise, they're awesome.
That's a big reason, though.
But it's
Yes.
So I would do 10, and I would probably do them as 1 squad.
For the strats.
For the strats, and even for Penance and Remembrance and all that kind of stuff.
That's true.
I think I could get some good stuff. But I would sometimes do them as 2 5s. I would probably own 15, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I would own 15. And if I ever played them as 15, it wouldn't be 3 squads of 5s. It'd be 1 of 10 and 1 of 5.
That's true. You know what? I take it back. I actually really like the 10-man.
Yeah.
Because you could, again, so Banner of Repentance or whatever.
Penitent of Remembrance.
Penitent of that thing. And then you also give them Steadfast Example. So now they are OBSEC.
Yeah.
Now you're cooking with gas.
I know.
That's your middle line unit.
That's great.
Okay. I take it back.
They're really excellent.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Thanks, Jared. Hey, Titans. You guys are by far my favorite Warhammer streamers. Can I use the...
Thanks.
Oh, this one is actually Deathwatch, not
Deathwatch.
Okay.
So the Deathwatch Relic Beacon Angelus turn 1, if the unit I use it on is on the table.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. You're good.
Just like the Veil of Time.
And to jump.
And to jump, yeah.
And the Grey Knight to jump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thousand Suns have one too. What's that one called?
Dark Matter Crystal.
Dark Matter Crystal.
Yeah.
DMC,
Great movie.
Thanks again, Martin. Brian checked out your real world skills. Can you please bring AR to 40k? I would really like to see my Executioner tank actually shoot at stuff.
We've talked about it before, right? What they're talking about is both of us have actually worked in augmented reality in the past, and there's some fun things you could do with this. None of it's easy. It's a lot of work, and it's all bespoke to your game. We've had people reach out to us who are have interesting ideas, but you'd be surprised how hard it is to add it to our production whilst making it meaningful.
Meaningful is a big thing,
yeah,
absolutely.
Not just a quirk. I think one day in the future we'll experiment with it.
Keep coming back and talking about it and see, like, is it the time? Do we do it? So we're always looking at that. Because we do have the experience. So
it could be fun.
Yeah.
I've one of the things is I told you before how much I hate Tabletop Simulator. Yeah. I've never had fun with it. The only fun times I've ever had with Tabletop Simulator were in VR though. I've played Tabletop Simulator in VR and I have fun with it because I just love like little things in VR, like you walk around and see it and things. So I've had Tabletop Simulator a long time ago when it first came out because it was a VR app and I was just buying every VR app.
Yeah.
So I liked it then, but still don't like playing Warhammer. It's like I like looking at Warhammer in it, but I don't want to play it.
Yeah. That's fair.
All right, thanks, Magnus. Did nothing wrong. Previews today got me wanting to play Fantasy in AOS again.
Nice.
What are the chances you think James will bring Tomb Kings back? Amazing range of models.
Oh, I would love them too. I don't think they will though.
I don't think they will.
I think they've spread out that love already. So like we have the
Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
Yeah, the Bone Daddies. They're as close as we're gonna get.
Yeah. Because they did like they killed off the High Elves and they brought out the Lumina.
Yep.
Which are similar but adjacent, and I'd say the Bone Reapers are the same sort of thing.
Exactly.
Where it's like similar but adjacent, and I just don't think they'll do it.
I don't think they will.
You could do the work to convert it yourself, though.
100%. It would be so cool.
You could turn your Bone Reapers into Tomb Kings.
Yeah. So if you're holding your breath, don't just go do the conversion, do it, and make them Bone Reapers or something.
The one thing I love the Bone Reapers models and things like that. The army's just too elite for me. Like, it's like your army is like one character, one beast, and like one blob.
Yeah.
And that's like 2,000 points.
But the thing is, like, it's unique in death, right? Because death is almost always hordes with a couple big monsters. So I think that's part of the design is like,
but it's
what if they
mega
were
elite?
Yeah, that's true.
It's like more elite than the elite stuff.
Yeah.
And it's too much.
I feel you.
Too elite.
Those Cursed City models, though.
Yeah, they're nice.
Alrighty, thanks, Kyle. Hey, Titans. Currently painting a Necromunda board with the tiles, stairs, and wall kits.
Oh, nice.
Do you have any tips for painting large surfaces like the tiles? I applied a wash and just was unhappy with it.
Yeah.
The thing with washes is when you're doing on a big surfaces, make sure you have brushes that are big enough, but also have fine enough bristles, so it's a balance between the two things, because it's so easy to have things pool on those big surfaces, especially if they're big flat surfaces. So that's something that's actually really, really important. Dry brushing is really great for big pieces of terrain.
Yes, it is.
Like all the techniques that you wouldn't really normally use on models become great with terrain.
I did the big GW tiles, and what I did is I bought 3 colors of rattle can, and so I did actually a bunch of like blending with rattle cans, and then I took an airbrush and I did like one more level of fine details. And then I picked a bucket of Earthshade, and I did wash the whole thing. I found a brush that worked nicely, and then I picked I don't know, like Terminus Stone or something that would have worked, and I dry brushed basically everything with Terminus Stone, and it worked. It tied it together. So it was pretty fast for me, and that generally worked. With the tiles, though, I don't know. It's sometimes fun to have some more specific details. So I have a lot of friends that will pick out, like, do hazard striping in some of the places. And just a few things like that. If you do the rest kind of quick and dirty, and you have a few areas of the hazard striping, especially if you weather it a bit, it'll bring the whole thing up a lot.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the rattle cane is a good point.
Yeah.
Traditional, like, you can't even really airbrush that big of terrain. It's
no.
Like, that's your whole bottle and like a day of work.
Yeah, I did rattle cans. I got Army Painter rattle cans because they have a lot of colors and they're not nearly as expensive as GW. So it worked well.
Good call.
All right, thanks, Robert. With Redemptor Dreadnought sold out, would a Relic Contemptor or Daredeo be worth the extra cost to replace a Redemptor? Daredeo does get Rule of Cool. Does it though?
If you like it, it's a wacky model.
It's
and it's
unique. Boatface.
Yeah, it's a weird, unique model.
It's
I like
cool
it. Guy. They're not the same model. Like, they don't do the same thing on the battlefield, in my opinion.
They don't fight at all.
The Daredeo does not fight.
Contemptors
the
do.
Contemptors can fight, but they don't.
They're less efficient.
They don't fight and shoot as well. Like, you give up shooting to fight, whereas a Redemptor doesn't give up anything.
Yeah, to me, because they're different, you run them. If you're gonna run them, you lean into what's different, right? So you say, okay, what's the loadout that's interesting that I couldn't make with a regular Dreadnought or something,
or something.
Or
Contemptor, regular Contemptor, yeah.
Yeah, which that's the big plus, right? Like, I love the 4 heavy bolters. Yeah, so use that to your advantage. Otherwise, even the regular Contemptor is probably better. But
yeah, a Relic Contemptor, the only unique thing it does is double gun. Really?
Double gun, yeah,
and
different types of guns.
Different loadouts, right? Whereas a normal Contemptor can fight and shoot, and that's going to be probably your best stand-in. Like, a regular Contemptor with an assault cannon and a fist is probably the closest thing to a Redemptor you're going to get.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's not a Redemptor.
It's not. I would take the Melty Melt on it first.
That's true.
Because the assault cannon's like, it's like a small assault cannon too. It's the carries.
It's the carries, yeah.
Yeah, it's 6 shots.
So Multi-Melt is much better.
Multi-Melt is much better.
But yeah, same idea.
All right, thanks, Thor Machine. Mug Brownies.
Mug Brownies.
Yeah, they're here.
Yeah.
I'll make them after. I'll give you a review in the next game.
So that was like an hour and a half delay.
Yeah. After this Q&A, we will do the Mug Brownie Q&A.
Q&As are getting long these
We'll
days,
move you over to the new stream.
There's the Mug Brownie stream.
We're just microwaving and eating Mug Brownies with no audio.
Yeah, no, really close audio.
We're gonna keep the mics on.
Really close audio, actually. Yeah.
You know what? I never expected Brian to eat that way, but now that I see it, it kind of makes sense.
I have excellent table manners.
Thanks again, Martin. So some viewers think we learned that sisters are OP. Others think that Grey Knights are weak. I contend that we learned Adrian needs Miracle Dice to win.
Yeah, it's true.
I think we literally learned all three of those things.
I think it's all of those, to be honest.
We learned that Grey Knights are not amazing, which I didn't learn that. I knew that. Yeah. We learned that sisters are genuinely one of the best armies. Also something we knew.
Yep.
And that Adrian does need auto 6s in order to roll a 6. We knew this. All these things we knew.
Some games I can't even do the Miracle Dice, though, if I'm honest.
That's true.
I'm like, it's a 2? It's a 2? You're not going to really use a 3. It's a 2?
Yeah.
All right.
You finally get them to a 6 only by manipulating it up 1.
Yeah. Like, that's why the Triumph is an auto.
You roll a 2, you re-roll it into a 5 with the Warlord trait, and then you move it from a 5 to a 6 with the Triumph. You need that many layers
get there eventually
to get a 6.
Absolutely. No, I really like them. They'd probably be my go-to army right now.
All right, thanks, Double Double. Love the show, guys. Any plans to do another tourney now that we have a few 9th Ed books? It'd be cool to see HQ defend their title against the new hotness.
Oof. Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
I think
we'll do it again, but to be honest, I think we might do it like midsummer or late summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we just did the LVN, And so that was kind of your taste of that. And we'll wait for a few more books to come out. We'll do it again. Last year we did it in September. I think we'll do it a little bit before that.
Yeah, twice a year. It makes sense.
But we'll do it again.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks, Luciano. Hey, Titans, any tips for getting the Wretched Plague Company to work? Is their Warlord Contagion usable? 6 is to hit auto wound in contagion range.
6 is to hit auto wound.
Yeah.
That's not super interesting. I don't have the book here. I think it's at your place.
Well, we just told.
That's true.
I just told you what it is.
So 6 is
6 is to hit auto wound in contagion range.
With it, and that's shooting and combat, I guess.
I think so. Yeah.
I told you all I know.
I'm not crazy about it because you already have good ways to wound. You have poison weapons. You have ways of reducing toughness. So it's like more on top of. It's like an incidental amount more on top of what you're already good at. So, but if you wanted to make it work, because I know you want to make this plague company work, what would be the way to do it?
Bolters and plague knives.
Yeah.
Things that have low strength and decent volume.
Yep.
And that's how you get the most money out of it.
I agree. And I think that is, because it is shooting and ranged, and so that kind of capitalizes on both. So that's what I would do. Yeah, it's a shame that there's a couple of the Plague Company ones that are just way overshadowed.
Yeah.
So that's one of them. So that's the way to go, probably.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Michael, doing a Dark Angel, primarily Deathwing, which characters would you take to do a, do you take a Vanguard and Patrol to get more? And what about Interrogator Chaplain? That's tough for me. With Jump and TT?
T the Terror?
Maybe. No, it's a Chaplain.
No.
TT.
Terminator.
It's fine.
Totally tubular.
Do we take an extra detachment for more HQs?
Yeah.
We do.
Absolutely.
We always do.
No.
100%. They're just too good not to. You could also use that Patrol to tech into other stuff. So like we take Inceptors. And then you still, of course, can have the Deathwing characters that will still have all the Deathwing rules, right? So this is probably your first or second Librarian.
Yeah.
We do... Azrael is great.
Yes.
He's great. Especially if you're not running a bunch of Storm Shield Terminators.
Sure.
And...
So do we take Chaplains, Interrogator Chaplains normally?
We haven't.
That's right. We haven't.
Because there's better things.
Not because they're bad.
No. I think they're really interesting.
So it's like the Librarians are really good.
Yeah.
So it's like he normally takes the slot that would have been a Chaplain, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the main thing.
If the Chaplain could have been an elite slot, we would have taken him.
Yeah.
But he can't. So we run out of HQ slots.
That's the thing. Like, we'll try them because it's cool because they can have jump pack guys.
Yeah.
But it's like, you take your Azrael or whatever chapter master it is that you have. You have your Librarian, probably 2.
You have 1 or 2 Librarians.
Yeah. And then...
People take Talon Masters.
The Talon Masters are also
And
great.
I know you can have 2 for 1 in one slot there, but like still, they eat up slots.
It still eats up slots. Like, that's already 4 right there.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of where we're at on that.
Yeah.
But it's too much good stuff, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a tough life.
All right, thanks. Miko, maybe I've watched too many anime, but I would love to see an elite melee Tau suit.
Me too.
What do you think? I know it's not super on theme, but do they need it in 9th?
I don't think it's off theme. Like the Tau, yes, they're shooting. They've determined that they're a shooting faction, but they all carry knives and swords and things like that. And their like most iconic character carries a giant blade the size of like a land speeder. You know what I mean? Like it's not off-brand for them either. So I absolutely think they should be doing that.
They need a ninja.
I don't see why they couldn't have a combat squad. And they could do it in a similar way that they do their shooting. Like, they actually aren't the best shooters. They hit on 4s or whatever. They just have this mass number of really, really good weapons that no one else can get that volume of that kind of weapon. It's like, everyone has Melta. Okay, but I could have 3 on a dude. You know, it's like, it's just a lot, right? And you'd almost want the same sort of thing. Like, put 2 awesome swords in these suits' hands.
3.
Or give them 4 arms, like Shadow Sun, and give them 4 swords.
Oh, you've gone too far.
And just be like, cool, each one of these swords is like an extra attack or something, and they're 2 damage and plus a bunch of strength.
Oh my god.
And so, cool, this Crisis suit is like 6 attacks at 2 damage, but the dude hits poorly or something.
Adrian's like, he's gone too far.
He's gone too far.
No, but this is the
It's
kind
an
of
abomination,
this is the way the Tau shoot.
Yeah.
It's the same way the Tau shoot, right? It's like, it's not like 1 ion shot, it's 9 ion shots.
Well, and to that effect, I think that's another reason why it's not off-brand, is in the sense that they are about building specialist suits that perform a specific function really, really well.
Yeah, right.
And so it's like, this is the combat battles, the battle suit, right?
That's right. I really think they should do it. I think it would be cool. I hope they do.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thanks Godforge. What would you like their next book to change for Tyranids? What is interesting in a casual environment that isn't Gene Stealer or Mortal Wound spam?
Yeah. Well, I don't think Mortal Wounds is good at casual, but make Synapse a good thing, not a bad thing.
Yeah.
The units are good. They're not reliant on that, but they become way better when they're in Synapse range. I feel pretty confident that something like this will happen because we've seen this happen everywhere. The bad stuff goes away, but you just get better, right? It's all about making people feel good about their army. That's my number one.
I really want the big beasts to fight with a lot more ferocity, more attacks, more reliable, so that, you know, generally they need to do the math so that, like, if one of those big beasts hits an intercessor squad, it kills the intercessor squad.
Yeah.
They need whatever the math is on that. They need to make that work.
Carnifexes.
Carnifex
herds.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think we need to be able to see something like that happen, and they need to be able to have something where they could spike maybe at least one turn of durability, because Tyranids always have that turn where it's like, I'm out there, do your worst to me, and it's like 3/4 of your army's dead, and then it's like, okay, I hit with the last quarter. And they don't even hit that hard.
Yeah.
So they didn't need to make it so that that last little bit that hits still wrecks, or, you know, give them that durability on the mid board and then also here.
Yeah, absolutely. And then for casual play with Tyranids, I honestly in a casual game of Tyranids would take I would min-max squads because it's something that in a more competitive game, the opponent probably has so much efficiency they can just like blast all these squads. But in a casual game, you can be throwing them up, body block, things like that. Use that to your power. Have a decent amount of shooting, not an oppressive amount of shooting, and then some combat. Like you have like your Swarmy or your big monster or two, and kind of build a balance force. Is really what I'm describing, right?
Yeah,
but, that's what I would do.
That's cool.
All right, thanks, Davey. Hey Titans, love the show. Would love to make a dragon-themed Salamanders army, but not sure which kind of head bits I could use. Any advice?
Ooh.
I haven't seen any. There's probably some on like a 3D print website
has to be. Yeah.
that you could use. Because obviously, like Space Wolves, I've seen those like dog wolf helmets. I can imagine something similar.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It'd be cool to like. One time I did hand sculpt my own like drakeskin cloak.
Right.
I tried it with green stuff, and that's a fun thing you can try and do is get more drakeskin cloaks on them and things like that.
I don't know if you can get bits. I mean, bits are so hard to find nowadays because of the way that like eBay changed. But the crests of Saurus warriors, right? Because those are a separate part, right? On some of them, and so if you could find those somewhere, that'd be a cool thing.
You're right. It's actually, I think you might be thinking of the skinks, or the Saurus. Like the Saurus have the flat.
It's the flat one. Plate,
The flat one is on the Saurus, and the big fin crest
the fin could be cool too.
Is on the skink.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And they actually have shields that are like lizard shields and things like that. So my conversion that I did, he's carrying a Source Warrior spear.
Right.
So he's got like a really like tribal looking spear.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, thanks, Aeronok. Speaking of blah blah blah, where's the shirt?
I know. Lost on the warp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We tried to make it, and then we blah 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 the button you had to hit.
Yeah.
We missed it.
All right, thanks again, Martin. You might have guessed from my questions, but can we see Sisters against Deathwing? Plus, Bridger would love to see Dark Angels lose to Sisters. Let's disappoint him.
I think, like we said, it's an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
We could definitely.
When you finish your army, we should try it out.
Well, that means. Oh yeah, you play my army.
I'd play.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm fine with playing.
Yeah, makes sense. Cool.
All right, thanks again, Martin. Thanks for explaining Set to Defend. You also answered an additional question. With those Deathwing Termies in the other game have had +2 to hit. Big smiles.
Yeah,
hey, whatever.
No problem.
Thanks, Superdie. Chat is currently too busy debating the finer points of sloppy joes and meat pies to realize that a calzone is a pizza sandwich. Let the heresy begin. This went on for like 40 minutes. People talking about what is a sandwich.
Oh no!
Is a taco
everyone
a sandwich?
knows these are unsolvable problems, and we should bend all of the human race to solving them.
We definitely.
Yeah, we definitely need to. I don't know what a calzone is. I don't care what I call it, but it's delicious.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I thought you were legitimately saying you didn't know what a calzone was.
No. I don't know what to call a calzone.
Yeah.
Except delicious.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I'll call it a pie.
Throw the calzone in the garbage.
Not
eat calzone. Eat panzerotti. And Americans don't really know what a panzerotti is. But if you know what a panzerotti is in chat, it's entirely superior to the calzone in every way.
That sounds weird. That sounds like a non-American word. I don't like that.
It's not. It's an Italian food. Just like calzone.
That's right.
It's basically a deep fried calzone instead of a baked calzone.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They don't make them almost anywhere in the US. It was like everywhere in Canada. and you can't really get them here.
It's surprising because that sounds like something Americans would love.
You would think so.
Yeah.
But I think it's just almost like too authentically Italian, and so they just don't want to see
Italian pizza is the worst.
Yeah, they're like, get it out of here.
Yeah. And I actually have. I'm not going to go on too length, but I have a bone in this.
All right.
Horse.
Yeah, you have a bone in this horse.
You have a bone to pick. A horse in the race.
No. I like his better.
I don't like sandwiches very much. Not at all. Like I don't like
that's
paying
right.
for
You don't like
sandwiches.
sandwiches.
They're
But
so.
like
But hold on, would you like a calzone?
But that's the thing is like there's things
So
that
that's how you know it's not a sandwich.
There's things that transcend the category because everyone's like, oh, but like hamburgers. I'm like, I love hamburgers so much. That's not a sandwich.
And that is definitely a sandwich.
Nope, not a sandwich.
That's like so.
So actually, we've discovered a naturally occurring way to determine what a sandwich is. If he likes it, it must not be a sandwich because he doesn't like sandwiches. He just said that.
That's true. Yeah. Hey, as long as you don't know what gravity is, you can't be affected by it.
That's right.
Oh, thank you, Robert. Looking at AdMech, Gav rifle? What's that?
Galvanic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Galvanic arc rifles.
Got it. Versus Rad Carbine, getting flashbacks to Tau with the pulse rifle versus Carbine, rapid fire versus assault. What are the thoughts?
Yeah, it's tough. So it's the Galvanic arc rifle. So it's the arc rifle that has that's better against vehicles. And the radium. Well, the radium's the regular weapon though. Can you read it one more time just to make sure?
We're talking about the rapid fire against the assault, right?
Yeah.
For the
Galvanic
basic
rifle
weapons.
versus the radium carbine.
Gotcha. Okay. I currently prefer the galvanic one, and you prefer the radium?
No, okay. I like the galvanic as well.
Because the galvanic, it's just solid strength 4. On 6s, they get an extra rend. They're longer range by far.
They're 30-inch, right?
30-inch rapid fire. Yeah, it's 30-inch rapid fire. Yeah. So this is going to fit the role of your troops better. The radiums on the Vanguard are interesting, but they just don't last long enough.
The fun thing about it is the potential damage too. I've actually done some real work with that.
Yeah, it's cool.
But
just like spiky, you know?
It is. The thing is, it comes down to what else the unit is doing.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
And are you using them up on the point? Because if they're on the back point, they're not going to ever shoot with the short range weapon.
Correct.
I don't know. Most of mine are Vanguard, so most of the ones I own are Vanguard.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, that's just what I have.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I would make this decision in a completely different way, in a very Brian way.
Yeah.
Rangers wear cool hoods.
Yeah.
That's way cooler. So
that's so funny.
So I would make the decision because I like the look of the Ranger better than the look of the Vanguard, and so their gun must therefore be superior. Yeah. Because their hood is superior.
I felt the exact opposite. Like I'm like, I like the look of the Vanguard better. They're like much more stylish, kind of like Roman, like ancient Roman style.
Because you like the weird helmets.
Yeah, and the hood guys are like so like try hard like guys, you know.
Adrian.
So I actually feel exact opposite. It's funny.
No wonder Dark Angels don't mix with you.
yeah, that's right. So
well, I feel like we came to no conclusion.
I think that was helpful.
Yeah.
All right, thanks again, Martin. So to make using AR effects easier, could you put RFID chips in the base of the models? Could also be helpful for showing where things are. Well, just a logistical thing. I'm looking at probably 1,500 models.
Yeah, at least. And they're always, we're always adding new ones. And you would have to program them individually. And you'd be surprised how an RFID doesn't identify its position. It only identifies that it exists. And we already knew it existed. We didn't know its position.
Yeah.
So that's not actually a thing. You could do image recognition. The models are not, they're all distinctive. And so even in one squad, they don't have a distinct element.
Commonality.
They don't have commonality.
Yeah.
So you'd have to put a visual marker, like a QR code. You'd have to put it like with each squad or something like that with like an arrow.
Yeah.
And all that would do was generally assess that it's there. You have to ask yourself, what can I do with that? It's not a whole lot. So the level of image recognition you would need is at a pretty extreme level. And it's also worth noting that that little marker can't be obscured. And the units are often in wacky places. And so anyways.
Or crowded in.
Yeah, they're crowded.
Place.
And then we've got, during a combat, for instance. And then we go through all this trouble. We identify the potential position of a unit.
Yeah.
There's nothing we could do with that that would be meaningful.
A little overlay. I could pop up a little box. It's like, look.
Well, yeah,
you could say like Vanguard are here.
Yeah.
He would,
but not how many or what they're doing.
We would need like an entire extra person that's like working on the database of what's happening. So it's like this RFID or this QR code is this unit, which has 3 wounds remaining or whatever.
Yeah.
And so someone else would have to be like adjusting the database based off that in real time.
During like a football game, for example, there's a person on the sidelines with the special software who will be like, which down it is, which player ran, how many yards with this. And they have to input it. I actually like made that software for the NFL. It was like a very complicated thing. Yeah. And you would actually need someone on the sideline, like the Xeraphim in this unit have this. They charged 9 inches. They did that. Yeah. And it would be a whole job just to give you like some overlay stats. Yeah. It's not worth it. We've put a lot of thought into it, actually.
Yeah, we have.
And it's really hard to pull off.
Alrighty, thanks. Arefzi? Arefzi. I don't know. Arefzi. Thanks for the nice content. Playing AdMech as my shooty army and Blood Angels as my combat army. Oh, nice. What would be a good third army choice with a different playstyle?
Oh.
Necrons as your Holdy army.
Yeah, Holdy. I was going to say either Holdy or movie, right? So Holdy.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
What's the movie army?
Well, it has to be a movie one that's not also just killy. So movie would be Harlequins, probably.
Harlequins.
Actually, that does both.
A movie psychic army. Like
Harlequins, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Alrighty. Thanks again, Martin. Brian, given Bridger's a sucker for fast food, how much do you think Harvey's in Canada would blow his mind? No topping limit.
Do you like if so they'll make you a burger and then you get to choose what goes on the burger?
I've been in a place like that, yeah.
Yeah, and their toppings are good quality, and they'll give you as much as you want. They'll even give them to you on the side. So it's like, hey, can you put 2 pickles on my burger? And then just like 5 pickles on the side. So they'll do that for you. But Harvey's...
There must be a limit.
I don't know. A Canadian has never tested it. You know what I mean?
No one's even thought to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
If I went in and I asked them for all of their mayonnaise.
Yeah, so Harvey's is really good, in my opinion. I really like it. They make poutines and stuff. It's great. And it's connected to Swiss Chalet. You can get yourself some Swiss Chalet.
Some what? Oh, Swiss Chalet.
Yeah.
You were saying Swiss Chalet.
You have to not enunciate it or you're doing it wrong.
You're Swift Chassé.
Yeah. Anyways, I miss Harvey's.
All right, thanks, Ian. Sorry, which DW, SOB, and GK units?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of sad that I knew what all of that was.
That was good.
Repentia versus Fortis Kill Team, Astral Aim Dread versus Retributor, Indomitor versus No.
Okay.
We're starting the whole thing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ian.
He'll figure it out.
Sorry, which Death Watch, Sister of Battle, and Grey Knights units? The Inquisitors are incidental. Repentia versus Fortis Kill Team, Astral Aim Dread.
So one at a time. We're saying. So Repentia against
Fortis Kill Team.
Yeah.
Repentia. Okay. What's next?
Astral Aim Dread versus Retributor versus Indomitor Kill Team.
Retributor.
Yeah.
Well, you can't just make a sister army, Adrian. This is the Triforce.
Well, that's the better.
Competitively.
We're talking about which one's better. That one's better.
This is supposed to be a fluffy
Okay, Indomitor's cool. That's the Eradicators.
Yeah, it's good actually.
That's good. Okay.
Adrian's like, we'll just take a sister army and put 3 Inquisitors.
Because they're better. They're so efficient.
Okay. And then was there anything else?
No, that was it.
I thought there was a third wing.
No.
I'm gonna say the sisters option.
I'm sad for this person.
Because we've just told them that sisters are.
You just dumped on their idea.
Play sisters. No, I love the idea. It so harkens back to this identity that you don't see as much anymore, right? It's like the demon hunters and witch hunters, and they're all like, I think it's so cool.
It's great.
So.
All right, thanks, Aeronok. I play Custodies and Knights. I keep spending half my CP on pre-battle relics and traits. How do you balance pre-battle CP spending? You don't. You just spend them all, dude.
It's very Bridger. No, what you need to do is when you write an army, you should have a sense of which strats are mandatory to make the army work. For instance, Custodies sometimes will say, most of the time I know I need to deliver my Custodies with a Vexilla Homer. I'm going to need at least 1 turn of turning off AP 1 and 2, and I'm going to need to turn off rerolls, or maybe I need to turn off rerolls twice. So you do the math of like how many CP you need, and you find, and then you'll say, will I use any command point rerolls? It's like, oh, I have a couple critical charges in the game. I'll at least need to consider I might need to burn them or whatever. And you know what you need, and you make sure you don't burn so much that you don't get to it. I'll give you an example in our last Custodies game. I chose not to do Victor of the Blood games on my character because he just was tough enough. He was like tough enough that if you eventually killed him, you probably put so much into it, it wasn't worth it. And I knew he was tough enough that you wouldn't even try. Thus, me teching into his extra durability was just pretty mean, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well said.
Yeah. Cool. Or you just spend them all.
Yeah. One or the other.
I will say, those are 2 armies that you also spend command points to prevent spending command points later on.
Yeah.
So like Custodians reroll, the reroll a Warlord trait, or the reroll Relic and the Invuln save, that's going to save you rerolling a failed charge later on. Knights, the same thing. So just keeping that in mind, you then still follow the principles that Brian said.
There's something you have to do different with Knights, though.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that when you're spending those CP, you're spreading out your buffs. Because if you're like going deep on CP to make one Knight a Mega Knight, you've made a huge mistake. You've made an easy choice. Like that's the Knight they kill first.
Yeah, make it difficult.
And spread out your buffs and put the buffs in smart places. Like make the Knight that they want to kill first the Knight that you want them to kill first, right?
Exactly.
So, and you can do things like that.
Alrighty, thanks again, Martin. Just wanted to say thank you so much for your hard work on top of your jobs. So amazing.
Thank you.
I also think we should take a brief moment to recognize how cool it is that Adrian's job is now Warhammer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'm doing my job. Yeah.
He's at work.
I'm a full-time Warhammer person.
Not many people can say that.
Not many at all.
It's rare.
Yeah.
Thanks, Miko. You've sold me, Brian. Every SC from now on, start collecting?
Sure. Maybe.
For me now, all right, let's start over. You sold me, Brian. Every SC from me from now is to pay Super Chat. Nailed it. Is to pay to write an email to James to make General Grievous Tau battle suits. Hashtag battle suits.
Exactly.
That was really hard for me to read.
Well, you kept interrupting
you
yourself.
Kept blah blah blah. You weren't reading the rest of it before you assumed what it meant.
You're like blah blah blah. This and then this
read the whole thing and then assume what it means.
You're your own worst enemy.
2-hour Q&As are rough, man.
They get you.
Well, it's gonna be 3 if you do that.
Thanks, Kenneth. Adrian moving full time has been great. The production value has increased a lot. All your hard work is paying off. I'm catching up on tonight's game tomorrow. Brian, Storm Surge T8, make it happen.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
The Storm Surge needs more durability and more output.
Seriously.
Like it actually needs to be a terrifying gunboat. It's almost like I think like if you can look at my shelf and name which unit you don't want shooting at you.
Right.
It should be the Storm Surge. Like you should point to the Storm Surge and say that thing is oppressive. Like the amount of firepower it puts out. Right. That's the class they should put it into.
Absolutely agree. And maybe address the Lord of War thing.
I'm okay if they make it absolutely a monster. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
There should be no knight outside of a Dominus class knight that shoots anywhere close to as good as it. I think it should outshoot. It should outshoot every single knight except for maybe.
It's a Castellan equivalent.
A Castellan, yeah.
Okay, I'll take that.
All right, thanks, James. Play Space Wolves in a 1,000 point game. Playing for the first time. Any suggestions for HQs? Rest of the list is 2 Assault Primaris units, 3-man Eradicator, 5-man Blade Guard, 3 Outriders.
It's a great list.
It's awesome.
So take as few HQs as you can get away with. In that point cost, you don't want to overdo it.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
At 1,000 points, because you got to be everywhere on the board. And so number of assets is more important than a few really killy ones.
For sure. Personally, I would go for a way to put OPSEC onto those Blade Guard. There's a couple clutch Space Wolf sagas that are really useful, right?
One, I like a character, a Wolfguard battle leader, or you could do it with that, or you could do it with a Wolf Lord on Thunderwolf. Cav, because he's a little faster.
Yeah.
He's very durable, and he actually just naturally gets more attacks from the Wolf. And you could put some really clutch abilities on him, like Rites of War or whatever you want to do. And I would just probably have the one character. I wouldn't overdo it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Oz. Your content is amazing. Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate your support.
Thank you, Oz.
Was it spelled A-U-S?
No, O-Z.
O-Z.
As Oz.
You can say Oz when it's spelled that way.
Yeah.
When it's spelled as Oz should be spelled, yeah. All right, last one of the day. Thanks, Martin. I've tested the toppings limit at Harvey's. I asked for as much green coleslaw as their T&Cs would allow. The girl gave me a whole tub.
Oh.
Epic.
See? It's Canada. I tell you.
That's amazing. You know, humans should not be trusted with such things. Not mortals, for sure.
That's right. Oh, man, Harvey's. One of these days, we'll go on a roadshow of Canadian fast food.
Point.
Oh, we should just do a road like Warhammer across America.
A roadshow show.
Well, that's Canada. But...
No, I'm saying, yeah, like we should do like a giant road trip where we just play Warhammer in random places.
He's not even capable of saying it.
No, he can't. He's like never left the country yet. He's like, the border ends, like the world falls off.
He's like, we're talking about like Washington, right?
Right, yeah.
Because that's as far as the world goes. Well, yeah.
You could do it.
That was weird.
That was weird.
We are way too synced up right now. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, this is going to be our format moving forwards. We are liking it. It seems like people are enjoying it. It's easier to find. So thank you for joining us on this lovely Saturday afternoon for us. And we, again, are going to have members only on Tuesday. There's a vote up right now.
Yeah.
You can become a member to vote on that. It's going to be Bridger or I fighting against the new Tyranids. And a bunch of new stuff next week. We'll have the Silent King, those Tyranids. Oh, yeah.
It's going to be an epic week.
It's going to be super fun.
We have new Templars models.
That's right. That's the other matchup. So actually, everything is new.
Every game is new models.
It's very, very big. So you don't want to miss that. Otherwise, have a great weekend. We'll catch you guys next time on the Tabletop.